that I don't necessarily want to say captain mentality, but again, both these players really heading up their specific teams and really kind of leading the charge.
Yeah, how can you not? I mean, like I said, every time I could take a peek back at the stat sheet and everything else, aside from the records and whatnot, they just seem so darn even. And those two players seem to be that pseudo captain or the person who can really take control of a game, right? We all know, especially with RLCS going on this weekend, that, you know, three players a team, and you got to have that synergy on lockdown to give yourself and your squad the best fighting chance. But once in a while, you do get players like Reaper, like Ambrosia, and so forth that can turn it on at a moment's notice, be that clutch player to really deliver for your squad, week in and week out. If they can't maybe operate 100% of the time like that, but hey, if they can, you can get that same production for them 80% of the time. I mean, that's all you can ask for from these guys. So keep an eye on both of them. Again, Reaper over on the side of the Miracles and Ambrosia on the side of the Atlas tonight. And who knows, Spencer? Sometimes we got the remaining, was it Magic, Zodak, and Elephant and Fuego. Sometimes those guys can also step up if the others aren't delivering.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As we await teams to ready up here, we do also want to just double check in with Twitch chat as well. Hopefully, everybody, we had a little bit of technical difficulties with the stream. Looks like everything should be good to go. So if not, go ahead and reload the stream. Everything should be good to go moving forward. We're going to actually leave the match that we're currently in now. They're requesting a new map. Sometimes that's what it's about is getting those maps underway. So we're going to wait for the technical difficulties to resolve themselves here on our end. But again, while we just continue to chat as well here, Flash, we talk about how not only Ambrosia is, a player with the Mankato Atlas, also the general manager. So not only are you tasked with the responsibility of being part of the team, you're also tasked with running the team, which especially in a league like Minnesota Championship Series, there's a lot of transactions happening throughout the season, and that can sometimes be a little difficult to juggle.
Right. I think the only thing he doesn't have on his resume is groundskeeper. Is like you said, we had to reset the lobby there. I think they had to mow the lawn or something. I don't know. They must have forgot before everyone got out on the pitch. So, jokes aside, yeah, it's some of these players live for that, right? They want to take that ownership role. Some of them are natural leaders, and I'm sure Ambrosia fits the bill very well, as I believe they're part of a CRL team as well. So it's give enough. To put on their plate, and I'm sure they can handle it. And it's a lot of plate spinning, but I just go back to some players are more equipped to handle this, and if they're more than willing to step up to that challenge. That's where some of these players can really, really shine. Maybe that's when they're in their element and that's when they perform their best. So, whereas you can easily make a point where, hey, if you got to be the GM and the team captain and you got more to do than just show up and play, right? A lot of players and people might potentially crack under that, and the pressure might get to them sooner than later. So, at the end of the day, we're all human here, and we're all just trying to drive some sweet-looking cars playing oversized soccer. But anywho.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So again, while we await just a couple technical difficulties that we're fixing here on our end, want to get your official prediction here, Flash. Minneapolis
Ooh.
Miracles versus Mankato Atlas. I know we don't do these very often, but we're killing some time. So, Minneapolis Miracles versus Mankato Atlas, best of 5. Who you gotten by how many games?
Oh my. Wow. Okay. Well, it's a loaded question because I haven't seen a lot of these teams played. Full disclosure. So, bold prediction. I will wholeheartedly go with the Miracles, only because I did get to see Bubbly Reaper in action not that long ago, and really seemed like the person who could just get it done when things needed to get done, right? A pure striker on the offensive side of the field, but there were many times where Reaper would come in and just make an absolute beautiful save to keep his team alive, right? So I think that is going to be the linchpin. You live and die by the Reaper in this case, and when you're sitting at a 2-3 record about halfway through the season, you want to get to that 500. You want to get to that 3-3. You just came off of a loss. I would argue they have a little bit more to fight for at this very moment. Where if the Atlas drop one, that only drops them to 5-1. They're still in first place for the time being. So, not that there's any pressure being that first place team, but again, if I had to go with somebody with limited knowledge, I think I really am going to go with the Miracles for the fact that I think they can. It seems like it could be a sneaky upset on the back of Reaper.
Yeah, and while I agree with you, you and I did see Bubbly Reaper Tuesday night with our hometown NDC Timberwolves. I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Mankato Atlas are going to pick up the win. However, I think this is going to go to Game 5 because of that fact that Bubbly Reaper does add that little bit of wild card to the side of the Minneapolis Miracles. However, I think Mankato is going to pull it out in game number 5. Yeah, I just don't think that the Minneapolis Miracles will get all the way there. They'll get to the summit, but again, it's going to be a tall task for Zodak Magic and Bubbly Reaper to overtake Ambrosia, Elephant, and Fuego of the Mankato Atlas. So, again, chat, we're still just solving a couple things here on our end, technical-wise, of this game. And actually, we're going to head into the matchup here. Captains are not in the lobby here, so Sheriff, I'm going to pull us in. Chat, Bear with me for 1 second while we get pulled into the match. You can see the game live right now. One moment, we are almost there.
Don't worry, I pulled up the stream side by side, so I don't think we're missing anything, even if we are a few seconds behind. So
we are now in the matchup here, so 0's at the clock. Here we go. Zodak is going to set it in. Fuego cuts it off at the midline. Has an opportunity at an open net. Magic able to clear that away with a save. And now here comes Ambrosia with the fake. Bubbly Reaper able to clear that away. 50 back to the goal is going to waterfall down. Ambrosia's there to catch it. Send it into the net. Bubbly Reaper gets credit for a save, but Ambrosia double taps that ball in. And the Atlas are going to take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, this is tough. Excellent display of skills there from Ambrosia, being able to kind of whip around the corner, grab the full boost, and immediately slow things down, and then really just power your way through a couple players. Again, Bubbly Reaper gets credit for the save there, but unable to really do much else other than put his car in the way. Ambrosia's got the momentum there, so that's going to give his squad in the Atlas the early 1-0 lead in our series.
Ball's going to be dropped down for Elephant. Magic able to clear that away. Already has 3 saves on the game. We're not even 2 minutes into this game. Ambrosia going to clear it away from the net. Zodak is going to head up, look to center that up for himself. Here comes Magic looking for a bump. Not able to get Fuego, however, Fuego bumps into Ambrosia. Elephant now taking possession. Ambrosia will take it away from his teammate. Fuego will put it into the side. And now double tap it towards the goal. Bubbly Reaper able to clear that away, but the ball waterfalls down. Ambrosia looking for a touch in. Magic is there. All of a sudden, the Miracles not able to get the ball on their side, and an own goal. And Elephant is going to get credit for the goal. My goodness, we'll take a look at the replay. I believe that Bubbly Reaper just put it in the back of his own net.
Yeah, as Reaper's trying to get his car up, it's just coming up a little too awkward for him, and I feel like if he's not able to touch that ball, Elephant's going to score it regardless there. So that little sequence there right before the somewhat of an own goal, it felt like the Miracles just couldn't really get their footing, right? There was just cars were coming off the wall, off the ceiling, trying to make some good attempts, some good looks at trying to clear the ball and save it, but it's just, you got some pretty clean rotation on the side of the Atlas, keeping the Miracles on their back foot, so not allowing them to really, get some good footing, and then we're not even halfway through the game, and the Atlas are showing why they are undefeated so far this season.
Yeah, 3-0 lead for the Mankato Atlas. Just so far, nothing going right for the Minneapolis Miracles. Zodak going to pinch it off the ground, take it towards the net. Ambrosia able to clear that away. Bubbly Reaper is going to get credit for a demo on Elephant. Ambrosia now going to flick it up. Looking to musty flick towards the net. Magic clearing that away. Zodak wins the 50 at the midline. Fuego now pops it up, looking to get it up back towards mid for a teammate. Bubbly Reaper clearing that way. Magic with a counterattack towards the net. Ambrosia gets credit for a save. Just got enough on it to clear it away from the net. Bubbly Reaper now starting a counterattack again for the Minneapolis Miracle. Puts the ball towards the net. Magic demoed. on the play by Elephant. And now here comes Ambrosia looking to settle it down to get to Elephant. Puts it towards the net, and Bubbly Reaper returning the favor over to Elephant. Here comes Zodak on the counterattack, taken away by Ambrosia. And Flash back and forth action here with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I was caught up in the moment there when you identified that musty flip. Full disclosure, did not know what a musty flip looked like. I know what I know the term, folks, but I can't say I know everything about this game. And all I could think was, hey, I've done that before. I think, kind of. Probably not as clean. Yeah, like, I was like, oh, so that's a musty flip. Oh, I'm really average at this game. Okay. Anyways, yes, a lot of back and forth indeed. These players can musty flips, passes to themselves off the wall, you name it. They are in the Premier League for a reason. Elephant comes off clean off that wall. I don't know if that flip was honestly necessary, but looks good to me. But 10 on the board.
10 on the board. It's 4-0 here for the Mankato Atlas. Magic and Elephant going to head in. Magic wins the face-off. And now we'll put the ball into the corner. Ambrosia just taking it away. And now pinch to the other side. Zodak will play it off the side wall. Ambrosia now with a touch. In for Fuego. Putting it towards the net. Magic clearing that away. Bubbly Reaper will catch that. Magic will send it back towards the corner. Kind of a defensive miscue. Elephant was looking for a demo here. Fuego now puts it into the corner, looking for a teammate. 60 seconds left here. Game number 1. Now into the corner. Elephant and Magic sends the ball towards the net. Bubbly Reaper looking for the second touch. Gets it towards the net. Elephant able to clear that away on a backflip save. And now take it into the other side. Here comes the counterattack for the Atlas. Magic stuffing that where it stood. Ball will drop right outside the box. Zodak now looking to get it up to Magic, who can't get enough on it. However, Zodak is there to get that second opportunity. And ball sent towards the net right off the right corner. 30 seconds to go here. Magic sends in the shot off the right post. Here comes the second opportunity. Zodak misplays the ball, doesn't get a touch on it. And now can't get it in. Elephant now sends it on the counterattack. Into the box it comes. Bubbly Reaper now kind of misplays it. A touch was not necessary there. We've reached the final 10 seconds, and Flash, this game, 150% goes the way of the Mankato Atlas.
Yeah, I mean, Minneapolis tried their best right out of the gate there before this thing really just fell apart, as we pull up the stat sheet shortly, that, Miracles tried their best to, to stay with it, blow for blow, pound for pound. But eventually, courtesy, and it wasn't all Ambrosia, right? I mentioned you keep an eye on him and Bubbly Reaper throughout this game. But Elephant, courtesy of the chat here, had a saucy goal indeed. It was one with that backflip that I had mentioned. So keep an eye on, again, Elephant, Fuego, Magic, and Zodak to come alive throughout this series. It's not just the Ambrosia and Bubbly Reaper show. I'll tell you what it is, though. It is the Atlas show, because they put on double digits shots on net here tonight with 10. Now, what's impressive here, Spencer, is the 7 saves from the Miracles.
Yeah, the defense for the Minneapolis Miracles kind of hardened down. It's just the offensive pressure proved to be too much in a lot of those situations. So look to see if the Minneapolis Miracles can start to get some more offensive pressure, get the ball out of their zone. Because if you can get the ball out of their zone, it's going to look like a completely different team. 5 minutes on the clock. Game number 2. Here we go between the Minneapolis Miracles and the Mankato Atlas. Ball sent in, looking for Bubbly Reaper. Redirect back towards Magic. Couldn't get a touch on it, but a nice play regardless. That's the right idea anyway. Zodak gets a touch over, and now cleared away by Elephant into the corner. Here comes Ambrosia on the counterattack. Sends the ball in and demos Zodak as well. Fuego sends it down to Elephant. 50 in the corner. And now Ambrosia, top of the box, dropping it down, looking for a teammate. Bubbly Reaper cleared it away. Long bomb towards the goal. Fuego able to clear that away. And now will just hit every ounce of boost that he has. Not enough as the ball gets taken back by Zodiac. And now we'll take it in towards the net and will come off the crossbar. Elephant able to clear that away. Fuego now starting the counter attack. Sending it up for Ambrosia towards the net. Off the crossbar again. And the ball cleared away, but here comes Elephant on the second opportunity and scores the goal for the Mankato Atlas.
Oh man, Spencer, if you are Minneapolis, this is a heartbreaker and a half right here. You've got to, oh man, in the next 30 to 60 seconds, they gotta buckle down. You gotta be smashing that mental reset button because they had two really solid plays that could have given them the first goal in this series. Instead, Mankato is able to push it back. They get the crossbar. They, the fate shines upon the Miracles as they, initially are able to stop that, but then eventually, Atlas just are able to power it through. And here we go. Like I said, smash that mental reset button. This is exactly what I want to see from the Miracles after such a tough going in the first, few seconds of game number 2 here. They're able to get the equalizer, something they weren't able to do in game number 1, which was get something on the board. So already a different series going into game number 2.
Yeah, the scoreboard may say 1-1, but if you're the Minneapolis Miracles, you're back to 0-0. So again, that mental reset going to be huge as Zodak takes the ball away from Ambrosia. Ball sent in now by Magic, cut towards the net. Fuego with a great clear attempt. And now can't get the ball out of his zone. Bubbly Reaper makes one bump on Ambrosia. Ball sent towards the net. Magic, oh my goodness, pulls a rabbit out of his hat and sends in an angle shot like no other.
Sure did. He just, he gave him the real Houdini. That's what he did. He just went all Houdini on him right there, Spencer. Magic. I don't know if we can come up with any more Magic puns if we tried. Just kidding. We probably could. We'll spare the chat for now. But yeah, Magic literally makes magic happen. I swear I'm done now. As he gives the Miracles the 2-1 lead, in game number 2 here. And this is the first time this series that the Atlas are down, albeit but just by 1, as that pressure, Ambrosia cuts off his own teammate there, trying to get a better angle. Reaper's going to try to settle this down. Ambrosia does beat him out of it. Tricky situation here, goes wide left for the Atlas. Zodak's going to try to clear this out, and we're nearing that halfway mark where, again, for the first time this series, things seem to be in the Miracles' corner. I'm going to flip it back to you, Spencer, before I provide one of those patented caster curses.
Magic looking for a flip over Ambrosia. Elephant able to take it away. And now here comes Bubbly Reaper on the counterattack. Ball sent in the air. Fuego looking for a second touch. Magic can't get a touch on it. Zodak looking to drop it down just to the right of the face-off circle. Wins the 50 to keep it in the zone, but here comes Ambrosia popping the ball up. Elephant now sending it in. Look to put it above the goal. Magic heads up. Gets credit for the clear. Ball sent in. Bubbly Reaper needs to get a clear attempt out. He does. Gets it away from the goal. Fuego now going to head up. Bubbly Reaper just everywhere on this field here in the last minute or so. Zodak and Elephant meet in the center. Elephant wins the 50. And now the ball sent towards the net. Once again, Fuego clearing that away. Elephant on the back wall gets credit for the clear. Bubbly Reaper will catch that, whip around, looks to get it over Elephant,
no.
And then gives the ball up to Elephant, and he will score the equalizer with 1:45 to go.
Oh, this is dicey. This is so... That's not even playing with fire. You might as well just throw your hand in the oven at that point. I mean, he makes a stop, right? He's able to put the ball, pump the brakes on it, and I'm expecting him to backflip or just really, get better control of that ball. But he's just, if the ball is the golf ball, right? Bubbly Reaper is the little pin. He's the what do you call that? Oh my goodness, what am I blanking? The golf thing, the little, the tee. Holy mother of God.
It's okay, we got there.
You know what I'm trying to say. Whatever. Bubbly Reaper, I'm seeing this one through, chat, whether you like it or not. Bubbly Reaper is the tee, and the ball is quite literally the golf ball, and Elephant is your golf club. I mean, it was set up perfectly, just waiting to be teed off. There, I feel better. Final 60 seconds of game number 2. We are all tied up. Magic once again trying to do a little sleight of hand there as Elephant once again steals it, goes off Ambrosia. Is anyone going to get there for the Atlas? Final attempt by Fuego, successfully cleared by Zodak for the time being. And we are nearing that 30-second horn. This one could go into overtime.
Yeah, and the ball going to be sent towards the net. Bubbly Reaper looking to challenge that. Taken away by Fuego. Up goes Zodak. 30 seconds left here, game number 2. Back pass now to Ambrosia. He's going to drop it off. Waterfall down. Looking for a pass. Nobody home. for the Atlas, and now the Miracles have a counterattack. Ball sent towards the net and in, and the Miracles take the lead with 17 seconds to go. The defense of the Atlas caught napping, and Zodak makes him pay.
Yeah, Zodak beats out Elephant there, and you see the assist comes off of Bubbly Reaper. Again, he wasn't really known for those stats going into this game or just the series, the season as a whole. As a lazy floater, Bubbly Reaper settles that one down, Zodak to make the clean clear. But again, Zodak's able to get such a clean look on that and beat everybody, courtesy of the flip from the assist from Bubbly Reaper, right? Just gives it that extra oomph to actually get there in transition without actually having to slow down your car at all. And yeah, we are certainly doing the crab rave of, or some sort of rave here. I don't know what they do in Minneapolis, but there is your victory music for the Miracles with Bubbly Reaper as your MVP. Pulling up that stat sheet, things seem to have come back down to earth here for both teams.
And it's exactly what I said needed to be done at the end of game number 1. The Miracles put 6 saves attempts, but they also turned up the offense. So once you got both those under control and were able to kind of balance them out, you picked up a 3-2 win. You know, you may have had less shots than the Atlas. The Atlas had 9. The Minneapolis Miracles sitting at 6. But you made them count. And the main stat I want to look at is Ambrosia, 0 for 5 on shot attempts here in game number 2. So again, if I'm Ambrosia, I'm going to clean up those shot attempts, get those more towards the net, and get it past the defense of the Minneapolis Miracles. As we're going to head here now into game number 3, tied at 1 apiece. Strap in, folks. This is going to be one heck of a series. 5 minutes on the clock. Game number 3 between the Minneapolis Miracles and the Mankato Atlas is underway. Ball now going to be sent into the Minneapolis Miracles side. Flipped over Elephant. Ambrosia able to take that away. And now here comes Bubbly Reaper in the corner. Can't get it by Ambrosia. Going to put it off the backboard. Fuego now going to come in. Zodak gets the ball over Fuego. Now Magic, ball set towards the net. And the second attempt, Bubbly Reaper going to drop it down, looking for a touch in. Ambrosia able to clear it away from the net. Sent into the corner, Zodak sends it right back. Doesn't get it out of the zone, however. Magic can't get a touch in the corner. Here comes Fuego, heading up, going to take it into the box. Zodak sitting at the line of the box and just shutting it down. Magic now going to flip it in. Elephant, last man back, ball's going to come off the back post. Bubbly Reaper with a second shot in, 45 seconds into game number 3, and Bubbly Reaper picking up where he left off from game 2.
Absolutely. And if you're Bubbly Reaper, good on you to follow that one through. You know Elephant's in rotation, going to attempt to make a save, and Elephant's going to want that one back, absolutely, knowing they probably should have been able to clear that one. And as soon as they miss, I mean, it's all green light for Bubbly Reaper. This is something you practice for, right? When you got nobody in the net there, and even if you're contested. But that's what they practice. I mean, to be in those situations and make sure, even those easy, wide open nets, that you don't bank it by any means, or give it too much and overshoot the goals. So Ambrosia getting tricky there. Fuego just a tad too late. Elephant with a third attempt. The Miracles are staying alive in this one, and they could have the potential breakaway there as the ball still sits midfield.
Oh no, a defensive miscue from Magic, and it's going to cost them the lead, and Elephant is going to score. The ball sent in by Ambrosia, flipped over Magic, who couldn't get there in time, and Elephant with a gimme with 3:36 to go. Yeah,
we were just wrapping up that point about how, the Atlas kind of gave one away and the Miracles returned the favor. Where, just a little bit of a miscue where on the defensive end, those players know they got to make those hits or at least position themselves just a tad better. That way they don't, put their teams in those positions and give up what I would consider easy goals, right? And speaking of easy goal, Reaper, Zodak makes the goal, but there are, 2 demos? Yeah, there's one in the background there. Reaper comes in with, I think, a second one almost.
There's the other one.
Yep, you can hear it in the distance. And in the foreground, you just see just a wide open field in front of Zodak. We are in game number 3, folks. Again, we're all tied up, currently going in the favor of the Miracles. And things are getting weird. I don't know if I have a better way to describe it. It's just there's been a lot of easy goals happening in game number 3, so I can't pinpoint it quite yet of what is happening with this game. Spencer, do you have any take?
No.
Okay.
Here's the thing: is I'm a champion in this game. So I couldn't dream of making shots like Ambrosia just made. So
Yeah, but I value your opinion. I got your back, buddy.
We got you. Yeah, we got each other.
We're not all supersonics. Come on now.
We've been partners for 2.5 years. We got each other's back.
Yeah.
No,
I
can't
bet
dream
this
of making
chat.
shots.
I bet this chat has never even heard of Grand Plat.
No, we have not.
No, they have never even heard. They don't even know what it is. They're not even on my level. Though I have graduated to diamond, so.
There you go.
Anyways.
Welcome aboard. Elephant now going to take the counter rush in. A double miss by the Miracles. Ambrosia going to send the ball towards the net off the backboard. Bubbly Reaper's just going to head up and flick it back towards mid. Here comes Magic, puts it into the corner. Elephant, last man back. Ball going to be centered. Dangerous Fuego runs into Elephant. May cost them, but he's able to clear it away just in time. Here comes the centering pass to the other side with Bubbly Reaper, and now Magic can't get enough on it. Ambrosia, now Elephant looking to flick it in. That's going to be just wide left. Had the right idea, though. Fuego looking for a second touch. Elephant demos Zodak. Ambrosia now can't get the pass. Magic, and just Elephant is just running rampant on the defense of the Miracles with the demos. Here comes Zodak, can't get the ball out of the zone. Once again, Bubbly Reaper sends the ball out for about 3 milliseconds. Bubbly Reaper, last man back, 12 boost. Ball's going to look to be dropped in. Magic gets credit for the save. Second shot attempt comes in off the post, and Bubbly Reaper clears it out of the zone. And the Minneapolis Miracle is able to avert disaster.
Yeah, we are, hitting that 90-second mark coming up here, and I really feel like whoever scores the next goal, this is going to dictate kind of how this series is going to go, right? I feel like that's going to be a great indication of who actually walks away with this series. I know it's only game number 3, but this is the closest one so far. Has a beautiful setup. Zodak touches this one in, but Magic, once again, this is, oh my goodness.
Do you believe in magic in a young girl's heart? My goodness, Magic sets down a perfect pass down to Zodak, and Zodak fires it in. 3-2 Minneapolis Miracles. Magic, my goodness, wins the faceoff, looking to get a touch in. Bubbly Reaper's waiting back towards the midline. And now Zodak will pop it up, take it up. 27 boost now to work with, hits the flip reset. Looking for it again, ball centered to the other side. Fuego sends it in, looking for Ambrosia. Bubbly Reaper cuts that off. Ball flicked in now by Zodak. Here comes Magic. Ambrosia as well there. Wins the 50. Ball flipped into the Minneapolis Miracle side. Bubbly Reaper clearing it back. He's got Magic there who can't get a touch on it. Will now put it into the corner. Fuego looking for that second touch. Bubbly Reaper puts it in towards the net. And a 2-goal lead with 38 seconds to go in game number 3. And the Minneapolis Miracles all of a sudden are on fire.
Yeah, when the ball comes off the ground like that, and you just get that extra momentum there, it's a very tough shot to defend. Yeah, Bubbly Reaper sending the Miracles up with the more comfortable 2-goal lead in game number 3. We're rounding out, hitting that 30-second horn in just a moment here, and I can't help but go back to my earlier point that, again, when this game was all knotted up, and by far the closest game in this series, I truly believed that whoever scored that next goal was going to take command of this series and potentially win it all. Again, only game number 3, so still a lot left to be played here as we are about to queue up game number 4. But yeah, Miracles looking to make a statement here. They dropped game number 1, but they won the next 2, and you could argue that almost means a little bit more.
Yeah, momentum clearly on the side of the Minneapolis Miracles as game number 3 comes to a conclusion in favor of the Minneapolis Miracles. We head to game number 4 with the Minneapolis Miracles on match point. My goodness, we thought this game was going to be a great series all around, and it has been so far. I honestly thought the Atlas would be up at match point here at the end of game 3, but look, I've been proven wrong many times before in our history together, my friend. But this is no exception.
I'm just gonna not say anything. I'm not even gonna get greedy. I'm just gonna.
Chat knows that Caster Curse is real.
Yeah,
so
I'm good.
we're not going to say anything. We're not going to.
Nope. I will. What's the word? Gloat if gloating needs to happen. But for now, I'm just gonna sit on my hands and just get ready for game number 4, just like the chat is.
We're gonna do what we do best. We're gonna ready up. We're gonna wait for game 4 to start, and we're just gonna sit here in peace.
Yeah.
We're not actually gonna do that. Game number 4
No.
coming your way. It'd be a very boring stream if you and I did that.
Oh my goodness.
5 minutes on the clock. Game.
Quick shout out to the chat. Excuse me, but a couple Miracle fans in the chat. I know we teed up. Folks weren't around for the beginning of the series of the game here, Spencer, where we obviously gave our hot takes, but the record, everything on paper, pretty much favored the Atlas, right? But you can clearly see there are plenty of Miracle fans around here trying to will their team to a victory tonight.
Minneapolis Miracles fans, sound off in the chat because they are on match point. As Fuego now looking to get something going for the Atlas, centered the ball towards Elephant. A pop-up, Zodak and Magic double commit, but get the ball away from the goal. Bubbly Reaper able to keep it away. Now Fuego sends it back into the box, looking for a teammate. Ball popped up. Magic needs to get it away from the net. Fuego's coming in to put the ball in, puts it off the crossbar. Second attempt. Elephant scores 45 seconds into game number 4. They have a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, a lot of that one was scrappy for sure, and I think what eventually broke the camel's back here was the Miracles were just starting to run out of boost. Right, you got all 3 players kind of stacked up there in the goal, or at least on your side of the field, but eventually, if you don't have a lot of boost to work with or none at all, it's hard to get up and put your car up in that airspace unless you're coming off the walls. So eventually Mankato is able to get one past the Miracles as black cloud of smoke.
Oh my goodness!
Kinda creates a diversion there, a little bit of a smoke screen perhaps. Yeah, we slow this down. Magic, I believe, gets the demo. Reaper at the same time pops it up. And I think at that point, Elephant is just throwing his car in the air in desperation, and Broja sees it from Reaper's perspective, and I think in slow motion realizes what's about to happen. So, yeah, I mean, for those who don't believe in demos, I mean, case in point right there, where one of the few side effects is a little bit of that smoke screen.
Yeah, it's ball centered. Zodak, he sends in a bullet, but able to be cleared away by Elephant. Ball centered once again. Magic is there. Ambrosia clears it away from the front of the box. And now here comes Bubbly Reaper on the counterattack now for the Miracles. Here comes the shot from Magic, and he puts it by all 3 members of the Atlas. Don't look now, but the Miracles have the lead once again.
I'm almost speechless. Things are getting away from the Atlas, and it all started back from game number 2, right? We're on game number 4 in favor of the Miracles. They win this, they take the win. It's done. It's over. So this is, do or die for the Atlas. And as this series has gone on, talk about a scrappy sequence right there. And that's the word I'm going to emphasize for this series. It's scrappy. Yes, the Atlas have been undefeated, and yes, we still have plenty of game left to play in this series. So the Atlas still could walk away with the win tonight. But when you are a winless team, a lossless team? A winless? A winning team. You're a winner. Goodness. I'm really trying not to catch myself on my own words, but, I'm human too. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is the Atlas are good. All they do is win. They have a 5-0 record, right? But when you get one of these middle-of-the-pack teams who are 2-3, 3-3, whatever it may be, on the side of Minneapolis, right? Sometimes those are the tougher games to actually go up against because this team is so scrappy, right? That's harder to game plan for almost, as opposed to a bottom tier team or someone who's closer in the standings. Again, when you get these middle of the pack teams, they almost seem to be a little bit scrappier, and to me, that's just harder to game plan against.
Yeah, we've talked about numerous times how demos can change the course of a game, and it really shown today is the Minneapolis Miracles have turned on the demos in the last couple games, and it's just caught the Mankato Atlas out of position time and time again. So again, good on the Minneapolis Miracles to pull that card out of their hat and start getting aggressive here when they have the ball in the offensive zone. Magic gonna head up, clear it back to the corner. Ball now gonna be centered into the box. looking down for Fuego, looking to drop it down. Comes off the crossbar, second attempt sent wide left. Bubbly Reaper now going to put the top of his car. Fuego wins the 50 with Bubbly, but Magic is there to take it out of the zone. When hit the area, look for the flip, reset, send it in, and gets it by! Oh my goodness, was that Fuego? I'm not quite sure what happened, but he just stood there. That was Ambrosia.
Yeah, this ain't your kid's birthday party where we're, whatever, making some makeshift balloon giraffes and card tricks. No, Magic is a top-level performer, folks. You blink and you miss it. That's how good he is. And literally making magic happen on the field against some of the best. To do that against Ambrosia, I mean, that's got to be a confidence boost for this team, but Magic as well. We teed up so much that Magic and Ambrosia are going to be the players to watch throughout this series. But again, we've seen the likes of Magic, Zodak, Elephant, and Fuego come alive in their own respective moments, as Elephant put ones on there, speaking of some of those players. So 65 seconds on the clock. The Miracles can taste victory. The chat can taste victory, as the Miracles still sit with that 1-goal lead against the Atlas.
Yeah, Zodak going to take it into the box. Look at the center for Bubbly Reaper. And now here comes Magic, puts it off the back wall, looking for a teammate. Nobody home. Elephant just pops it up, however, just to the right of the net. And the ball going to bounce in front of the net, and it's going to cost them. My goodness! The defense of Mankato all of a sudden coming unglued, and it's going to cost them a goal with 44 seconds to go in game number 4.
I might steal that one and put it in the Grand Plat scrapbook. That would make me look good. So, yes, the Atlas do drop that one, where the defense certainly comes unglued there. Beautiful save by Bubbly Reaper. These final, 30, 35 seconds, the Minneapolis Miracles, again, on the edge of victory here. The name of the game is Keep Away. You've already got this locked up. Add insult to injury, throwing a demo while you're at it, while you're at it as well. Magic with a beautiful clear, Bubbly Reaper able to catch it, and again, name of the game is Keep Away. Fuego trying to get something going here, inject some life into their team, realizing this is do or die. We'll see if the team captain can come alive in Ambrosia, but things are slowly but surely falling apart for the Atlas here. Final seconds on the clock, and it looks like the Miracles are going to walk away with a miracle. That never gets old, folks. Light it up, chat. Your Miracles on your screen are your winners tonight, dethroning the Mankato Atlas, giving them their first loss of the season, and the Miracles going up to a 500 record of 3-3.
And that's just spectacular. We talked about before the game that on paper this looked to be a game that Mankato should win. And the Minneapolis Miracle, you and I have casted, I believe, now either 2 or 3 matches with the Minneapolis Miracles. And each time they're a heavy underdog, but they come back and they're just like a stone wall, and they win the match. And to win it in game 4, even, it's incredible. And it just goes to show that sometimes being the underdog on paper doesn't translate to the actual match.
Right. It's and now I will fully come in and just gloat the hell out of this, because who called the Minneapolis Miracles to win and upset the Mankato Atlas? That's right, chat. It is one of the newer casters for MNCS, Flash, who doesn't know a lot about these teams, but sometimes that's okay. You don't need to know a lot. You just need to have a good gut feeling and just, double down on your bets. So I wasn't bold enough to say they'd sweep them or anything crazy like that. I'm not a crazy man. But, okay, there we go. My gloating's done. Excellent series. Does go the way of the Miracles in what is somewhat of a stunner against the Atlas.
Yeah, GG's in the chat from Ambrosia and the rest of the Mankato Atlas. Is a great match. We've got 3 more matches coming your way here. Next up is going to be the Rochester Rhythm versus the St. Paul Senators. So stick around, chat. You are not going to want to go anywhere, so don't go anywhere.
All units, stand by to engage enemy targets. Mission accomplished. Well done.
want to be in this situation going to overtime. Now a shot coming out from Cruz. He puts it top shelf.
For Gavin. And Brogan get a huge double there. Wildcats will free up some space. Mexi tries to find Tiki down the lane of the field off the back wall. He's got the double tap. Whoa! What is this game?
Lost in the look in your eyes.
Welcome back to Minnesota Championship Series Rocket League here on Twitch. Match 2 is just about ready to start here. We've got the Rochester Rhythm coming up against the St. Paul Senators in Flash. We talk about how on paper, once again, Rochester Rhythm coming in 4-1, winning 80% of their matches against St. Paul Senators 1-4. I mean, we talk, like I said, on paper, this should go the way of Rochester, but you saw last game with the Minneapolis Miracles. It may not necessarily be the case.
Very true. And instead of doubling down, I'm going to flip-flop, and I'm pushing all my chips towards the Rhythm. Again, call it one of those gut feelings again. I'm all in on the Rhythm. No offense to your St. Paul fans out there. Again, keep in mind, this caster is going in blind to a lot of these teams and their players. So I am leaning heavily on what they call instinct.
Yeah, I mean, we take a look at the air side with St. Paul Senators. Latumos, part of the runner-up team last year in the Season 4 Premier League.
Don't mention that.
With the Rangers. So, again, bringing in that little bit of expertise when it comes to, that down-the-field run in the playoffs. So, I'm gonna flip-flop. I'm gonna take St. Paul Senators. I'm not quite sure why.
You purposely waited for me to give my take and then be like, oh, by the way, Latumos, he's got game experience. He's been in the finals.
We both have the same spreadsheet. I don't know exactly what you're talking about.
You son of a bitch.
5 minutes on the clock. Best of 5 series between Rochester Rhythm and the St. Paul Senators. Here we go. Ball's going to be sent in to the Senators side. Conundrum Effect plays it into the box. Now sent in by Zero Vibes, who actually is subbing in for Chicken tonight. My apologies. I was not looking clearly at the spreadsheet. That one took me a little bit off guard. And now Calster as well, subbing in for Vanish. So a couple of substitutions here on the side of both sides, really, the Rochester Rhythm and St. Paul Senators. So again, we talk about how substitutions necessarily can have an unknown card, if you will, in this game, Flash.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially if you have both sides putting a different player in there as Fours. I saw his name in the chat earlier, so I know he's got a few fans out there. But Fours makes a beautiful save there. Well-timed as well. Within this first 60 seconds of game number 1 can always be troublesome. But this one is going to go to the side of Wubik. Going to the side of the Senators as well, giving their team the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and Wubik sending in a great shot off the pass from Latumos. Just a picture-perfect, nice and easy pass from the backboard. 4:06 to go here in game number 1. Wubik wins the face-off, but Calster going to take it in. Now looking to pop it off his hood. 0-5 sends it back to the Rhythm side. Here's Force now taking it back towards mid. Gets it by Wubik into the corner. Ball sent into the box. Taken away by Latumos. Here comes Conundrum. Puts it up. Looking for Calster to put it in towards the Callister, excuse me. Is it Callister or Calster? It's Calster. I can't read.
We'll go with Calster.
I can't read. I promise I can. I passed 4th grade. Ball going to be sent in by Calster once again towards the box. Zero Vibes gets credit for the save. Conundrum sends it back. Looking to waterfall it down. Calster puts it back to the sidewall, looking to center it up for Fours, who's going to whip back. Here comes Conundrum. Keeps it in the zone of the Senators. Cut off down by Latumos. Demo Calster by Zero Vibes. Ball comes off the crossbar. Conundrum looking for that second touch towards the goal. And just under 2 minutes gone as the ball pinched it back towards the face-off circle. My goodness. Flash, both these teams, after that first initial goal, looking pretty even here.
Yeah, and, don't feel bad. We've seen plenty of names. If anything else, the team out of Rochester really missed their opportunity. I mean, you could have went with 3s, 4s, and 5s, right? Like, everyone could have been their name. But instead, they just, really love to mess us up, I guess. But anywho, and speaking of curveballs, maybe longtime fans of the MNCS and Conundrum have noticed this before, but Conundrum is the odd man out here sporting, I believe, what is the Venom car. You don't see that every day. So, I mean, hey, man, I'm a fan. I'm still waiting for someone to sport the Merc. Hashtag Merc life. But back to the action. Yes, this game is definitely very evened up. Who knows? Maybe one of these teams could have had a more solidified lead if someone would have played with a Merc. Imagine if you all played with Mercs. Well, Calster showing that you can get it done with the Octane. It is the poster boy for this car, for this game anyways. The Octane's on the darn game of the cover of it. So, but the Rochester Rhythm, shenanigans aside, they do at a key point in game number 1, just past the halfway mark here, they do tie it up. What looked to be initially just a very knotted up, a very even series. So good on the Rhythm to really settle things down for their squad, get one on the board, and potentially look to double down on this one and give themselves the lead as well.
Yeah, demo on Calster with Wubik, so a quick power play for the Rhythm. Now respawn back, Calster back towards center. Latumos wins the 50 back at center. Wubik now sends it in, looking to take it into the box, dropping it down for a teammate. Sends it just above Latumos, not able to get there in time. Now plays it off the back wall. Nobody pushing for the Senators. Ball now sent in front of the net. Conundrum will make a play in. Here comes 0-5, just putting it back towards center. And now cut off by Forrest. He's got Conundrum waiting for a pass attempt. Nobody waiting for the Rhythm back at center. And now here comes Latumos. Can't get it by Calster. 0-5 and Conundrum meet up way in the air, win the 50. Now Wubik was trying to get something started. Here comes Latumos trying to get it over one man. Gets it over Calster. Ball gonna centered in the box. As we've reached the 60-second mark here in game number 1. Conundrum now gonna play it into the corner. Wubik can't get enough on it with the touch. Here comes 0-5 on the counterattack for the Senators. Latumos keeps it in the zone of the Rhythm. Now looking to get it under Calster and get the flip reset. Can't get there. And Flash with just over 30 seconds left here. This game looking at might go to overtime.
Yeah, potentially. There's just been a lot of nothing happening, right? Like there's been a lot of setup to march your team down the field, and then they get to the end zone, and neither team can capitalize, right? As Forrest pops ones up, good look. Calster tries to settle that one down, try to flip one in there, but yeah, I mean they're very good at getting the ball down the field. But once they get to, that 10-yard line, just neither team is unable to punch it in. Desperation attempt from Force. Calster next man up. Ball looking like it's going to hit the ground. One final attempt from Conundrum. And there we go. Sound of the overtime horn. And who doesn't love bonus time in a Rocket League game, especially in game number 1? So this could be very pivotal for our series as Wubik tries to slow things down. And again, just as a subtle reminder, this game is going to go as long as it needs to, or right on cue, Force is going to score it with 11 seconds of overtime. The only thing that could get better was 4 seconds.
I promise you, chat, we don't time this. We don't. Caster Curse is a real thing.
No, we don't. Yeah, that's right.
We don't. We don't time the... So
sorry, you almost fooled me.
The Rhythm take game number 1, and we're going to have a technical timeout here on the side of Rochester Rhythm. Conundrum needing a quick restart. So while we wait for Conundrum to come back, my goodness, the game was pretty evenly matched through most of it, and it just with that overtime winner with the with Rochester. But from what I saw, that series pretty even through most of it. The only thing I would say, the Senators need to get their offense just a little bit more organized. A lot of passes into the open space, not a lot of second touches waiting for passes back to inside the box. So that's going to be my only thing for the Senators, and that could be the opening they need to get ready for game number 2.
Absolutely. I mean, again, I keep going back to my point of both the Senators and Rhythm able to get it down the field effectively, efficiently, but as soon as they get caught up in the corner, they're trying to get some passes, coming down from the ceiling, coming, centered up for their team. Things are just going a little wide, a little far, aren't as crisp as you would like it. So, and it's kind of a two-way street, right? We've seen Rhythm. It's not like they're putting on a clinic here by any means. So look for them to clean things up as well. And who knows? This might go back to one of the earlier things we said for this series is, both teams are playing with a substitute. So at this point, it could be anyone's game as 0-5 has zero chill on this one. That one was at least 60% into the goal. I don't know how that one didn't go in or how they didn't.
I cannot believe that ball did not go in.
Yeah, that was as clean a look as you're going to get. The Rhythm escape with one there as they try to get a counterattack going here. And already in the first 30 seconds, again, Rhythm leading this series, but things are just... I feel like we just picked up right where we left off in that overtime, and things are just messy.
Yeah, and you know, we've said it time and time again that game one typically that game that teams use to learn how each other team works, but both teams really just came out of the gate firing, and you know, not a whole lot of organization on either side of the ball. Exactly right there, all three members of the Rochester Rhythm in the same about 4 yards of each other. So disaster averted for Rochester. They're gonna need to definitely clean that up as the ball heads back to the side of the Senators. Centering pass, looking for a teammate, sends it wide right, and that was Fours missing the shot attempt. Latumos now settling it down for Wubik, sends it just a little bit too far. Calster now pops it up with 0 vibes. Here comes Latumos, pointing it back towards center. Can't get it by Fours. Ball set to the left of the net. Comes off the back wall, in towards the net, and 0 vibes get credit for a save. Second opportunity, cleared aside by Wubik. And now Latumos and Wubik start the counterattack. Can't get it by Conundrum. Into the corner we go. Conundrum misplays it. Fours takes it in, but the ball played off the bottom corner into the box. Can't get a touch in. 0 vibes, like a missile, comes in and scores the opening goal for the St. Paul Senators.
Yeah, 0 vibes gets a little redemption from that first goal that just teetered on the edge where Rochester was able to clear it out. So gets redemption there, puts his squad up 1-0 in this, and the Rhythm are, well, they're really not in rhythm here. I mean, if anything else, stick with me, chat here. I mean, the Rhythm are kind of like a jazz band right now. You got your drummer, you got you know, your saxophone player, and you got your bass player, right? And all of them are just kind of doing their own thing. No one's really in sync. I mean, make whatever jokes you want to make about jazz music where they don't play the right notes anyways, but it just you know, but even with something like jazz music, I mean, really, when trust me, when it clicks, when everything's in rhythm and it sounds right, everyone's on the same page, I mean, that is when, you know, things really start to come alive. So I'm looking for these players, for these musicians to get on the same page and really get something going if they want to stay alive in this series, because otherwise it's going to be to the Senators' advantage to, you know, again, the Senators have the 1-4 record. The Rhythm have the 4-1 record. So again, on paper, this should go to the side of the Rhythm, as Conundrum makes a beautiful save there, and that's going to keep them alive in this series as Latumos lays in the demo. But again, it's just, if the Rhythm can't get on the same page, right? If they can't play the same song, it's going to be to the Senators' advantage to pick up a kind of a sneaky win here tonight.
And maybe that's what the Senators need, is exactly like that. Start to throw the defense off of their game while you have the ball in their zone. Just get those demos in, get those bumps, just like that. Bump them off the ball, you know, to where they don't expect, you know, those kind of plays. So again, if I'm head coach, if I'm general manager Ernie, you know, I'm in the chat, you know, talking about, you know, get a little bit more aggressive when you have the ball in the offensive zone. Get those demos in. Start to be a little bit more scrappy, as you call it, Sheriff. Is the ball centered in? Oh my goodness, the mind games from Fours and Calster, and the game is tied with 1:13 to go.
Yeah, mind games indeed. Fours is, I don't know. I don't got anything for it. I used up all my brain power on that whole jazz gimmick like 60 seconds ago, where I ran out of juice. I don't have anything for Fours. Fours just makes a beautiful shot, plays the mind games as you said. No clever puns, no nothing. Gets his Rhythm squad in rhythm. There we go. Then tying up this series as things get dicey in the corner there on the side of the Rhythm. Long clear over there. 0 vibes able to make a key touch on that before things really get out of hand. And less than 60 seconds, Spencer. Again, we are coming down to the wire of yet another game.
Yeah, 45 seconds, like you said. You know, ball now going to look to be in the box. Wubik centers it, and that's going to be dangerous. Here comes Conundrum. Playing it back, Latumos gets it away into the corner. Now going to be taken away and pinched in. Calster sends in a shot. Double commit on the side of the Senators. Calster sending in another shot. Ball sent in by Conundrum. And the lead for the Rochester Rhythm with 26 seconds to go. That double commit proving costly for the Senators.
Yeah, and it's just enough to throw him off. You know, Latumos is still in goal, so there's at least someone to, you know, body up there and you know, not allow the Rhythm just an absolute free goal. But you know, the Rhythm are going to get some reinforcements there, and Conundrum comes in with that as he tries another one, tries to really stuff that in there. But 10 seconds left or so. Latumo's trying to get cheeky there. Does get eventually cleared. Zero Vibe's going to try to settle this down. It's do or die time. Less than 10 seconds left. Look for the Senators. One final attempt here, courtesy of Wubik. Does get a sneaky flip there. Pops up just barely. Latumo's misses. Zero Vibe settled it down. And you see a couple rhythm cars in the goal there, and oh no, indeed, where it just, I don't think everyone, they were running out of boost, they were running out of gas there, and it just wasn't enough. So, good idea, good passing there towards the end there, but just not enough, and the rhythm are going to go up here.
Yeah, they're going to be on match point here as we head into game number 3. Yeah, the Senators really threw everything they had, but their defense kind of let them down here in game number 2. So again, if I'm Latumos, Wubik, and Zero Vibes, you got to clean up that defense. And like I said in game number 2 as well, start to get aggressive when you have the ball in the offensive zone. Don't be afraid to go out and send a couple cars to the junkyard, as 5 minutes are on the clock. Game number 3 between the Rhythm and the Senators. Here we go. Ball's going to be taken by Latumos, flicked in towards the net, and one of the Rhythm backflipped, and Wubik is going to score for the St. Paul Senators. That was 4 that backflipped.
Yeah, this is exactly what you need on the side of the Senators. Beautiful pop-up from Latumos, and Wubik gets up the instant that ball goes in the air, clearly showcasing that practice does pay off. That's something that these players practice time and time again. So when it does come to make those plays, they make them seem almost effortless. So Forrest trying to settle it down, does meet hood to hood with Kalster. Lucky that one does not go in. The Senators are not done yet. Wubik tries to go up for a second attempt here, and the ball is still on the side of the Rhythm. Look for them to clear this here, but already 30 seconds expiring in what is match point. The Rhythm up 2-0 in this series. Senators looking to get something going here. Lazy floater from Zero Vibes, and you saw Latumos dishing out everything, just trying to secure that goal just in case the Rhythm were able to sneak back in there. But a cool, don't blink, 19 miles an hour as your Senators go up 2-0 in less than a minute in game number 3. What could be the turning point for them?
Yeah, the Senators proving that they are not going to go down quietly. Here comes Latumos. Kalster can't get a touch on that. Latumos going to look to get it past Conundrum. Goal is open if they can get the ball towards the net. Zero Vibes couldn't get there in time. And now ball sent back into the Senators zone. Wubik will retreat, collect that in the corner. Here comes Forrest, takes it into the box. Can't get it by Zero Vibes. Conundrum will send in a second shot opportunity off the crossbar. Kalster was coming in for that shot attempt. And now Wubik plays it in. Can't get it by Forrest, put it back towards the face-off circle. Now Latumos can't win the 50 against Kalster. Zero Vibes takes it into the other side. Wubik plays it up the side wall. Conundrum takes it back into the side of the Senators. Forrest sends it into the corner. Conundrum takes it into the box off the crossbar. And off the top corner now from the save attempt on Latumos. 2 members of the Senators sitting in goal. Nobody pushing that ball. Forrest will take an absolute gimme. And, with 3:15 to go here, Flash, the Senators clearly in the driver's seat, controlling their fate in game number 3.
Yeah, and if they're sitting comfortable, that's for sure. If they keep doing what they're doing, they could sneak away with game number 3 here and give them a fighting chance as the hot pink Fennec, driven by Latumos, pops up initially, makes a beautiful touch, and then a third touch on there. I think putting 4s on all 4s, very tough to defend that one. Again, Senators going up 3-0. But that leads me into my point where if the Rhythm are going to have a shot at this, I'm looking at 4s to be that player to get something going, right? Kalster and Conundrum have been pretty good in their own respective right. Sometimes they need a little bit of a setup to get something, going for their team. But again, 4s looks to be that player who can really step it up and flip the switch. So looking for them potentially to really give this team some life as we reach the halfway mark. So 3-0 is a tough mountain to climb, but with half the game left, it does make it a little bit easier to climb. So we'll see if 4s delivers on this caster's promises as more time expires. Again, Senators on do or die here. If they lose this, the game is done and we queue up a next one. But if they win, they keep the series alive.
Yeah, Latumos now taking it in. Fours wins the 50. Conundrum now going to take it. Wubik just absolutely stonewall. And an open goal if Wubik can get there. He gets the double touch. Oh my goodness. And dunks it on Fours and takes a 4-0 lead.
Look at Fours' cars. Look at him come back down. Luckily, he had enough boost in the tank, but he just flips his car around, angles it downward, and comes down like a rocket, doing what he can, realizing his team isn't able to get there, and makes a valiant attempt. So that is hard to do regardless when you are up in the air kind of stalled out, and to time that, right, to actually come down and then try to make the save, that's tough enough. So credit to Forrest to actually get there, but Wubix, I mean, he's got the advantage. This is one of those few times where maybe having the low ground actually pays off. Dare I say? Having the high ground is apparently not always the best option. Sorry, Obi-Wan. But, or was that Anakin? I don't know. Maybe I'll have to go back and rewatch him. I swear I've seen him, folks. Don't grill me for that. Please don't. I did watch the Star Wars. So, anyways, we are reaching about 75 seconds left in this series, and it feels like each time we revisit the clock here, the Senators just have one more goal on the net.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is, keeping the offensive pressure is exactly what the Senators needed to do, to start that reverse sweep scenario. So 60 seconds left here, a tall mountain to climb for the Rochester Rhythm to have a chance at winning this game, and time very rapidly becoming their worst enemy as Conundrum looking to take this away from Wubik. Here comes Fours, and now a counterattack into the box. Conundrum sends it in, postage stamp, and 41 seconds to go, not completely out of the ordinary with 41 seconds. 41 seconds, like you and I have said time and time again, it's about 9 light years. So
yeah.
It is a lot of time in Rocket League time. It's going to depend on how this next face-off goes. Conundrum and Latumos head in, and the ball sent into the box. Now here comes Calster, catches the ball, flips it over one man, can't get it over Latumos, and the 30-second bell is now rung. Ball centered. Here comes Conundrum, looking to flick it over. Can't get it by Latumos once again. And looking to demo him in the process. And with now 20 seconds to go, a 3-goal lead, almost insurmountable at this point. As the ball sent now towards the goal. Forrest clearing it away. Final 10 seconds, and it's all elementary here in game number 3. This game is going to be in the win column for the St. Paul Senators as time will expire. And we're going to head to game number 4.
Yeah, and what was key there in those final seconds was, yes, the Senators won, and the Rhythm do not get the clean sweep tonight. The Rhythm were the last one to score the goal, so we'll see if that translates into any kind of momentum and see if they can shut this out in game number 4 rather than, go to that dreaded game number 5 after they had just a solid lead early on in this series. Only because, again, if they can't, this really could just be all the Senators, all Senators the rest of the way. So again, we'll see. Although the Rhythm do drop this in game number 3, they do score the last goal. Again, we'll see if that translates into something for game number 4. And to top it all off, Obi-Wan was on the high ground because Anakin was all cocky and he didn't care. He thought he could get the job done, but he couldn't because he had the low ground like a chump. So
I want to give a quick shout out in chat too as well. SBase15 saying to Flash, you saying deep doo doo now. So
look, man, yeah. I figured it out. I feel better about it. Okay.
I took a quick Google search. It's fine. It's fine.
Jesus.
Yeah, so again, we are going to head now into game number 4 between the Rochester Rhythm and St. Paul Senators, with the Senators still on the reverse sweep search. 5 minutes once again are going to be on the clock. Chat, game number 4, strap in, here we go. Forrest is going to head into the face-off circle with 0-5s. Now here comes Conundrum, going to take it up the side wall. Look to take it into the corner. Ball now going to be sent up for Calster, who's going to send it just to the right of the net. Cleared away by Wubik. Ball popped up by Forrest. Latumos is there. Gets a touch into the corner. Now Conundrum looking to center it. Latumos settles it down. Conundrum popping it up in the air, looking for Calster. Cut away by 0-5s. Latumos able to clear that out of the box as well. Here comes Conundrum once again. Forrest misplaying the ball. Calster last man back, but look for that second touch. Gets it into the box. Now Zero Vibes able to clear the way from the net. Calster once again getting it into Conundrum. Saved by Latumos, but pops in the air. Wubik able to get it out of the box once again, and the ball finally leaves the side of the St. Paul Senators. My goodness, that ball was in that zone for about 45 seconds, Flash.
Yeah, I mean, if they can hang with that, that's a good sign for them. You know, they stole game number 3, and then they're trying to get some sort of counter-offensive going here. But no surprise that the Rhythm are throwing literally everything at this, because they wanted to shut this game down, or this series down last game, right? They didn't even want to entertain the idea of a game 4, or even potentially game number 5, as the ball the crossbar. Zero Vibe says, thank you very much. I will take this every day of the week.
Conundrum was just trying to play it in. He just popped it off the crossbar by accident. Kind of a lazy touch, and Zero Vibes with an absolute gimme to send up the St. Paul Senators with 3:42 to go, game number 4. Here comes Conundrum, wins the faceoff. Latumos is going to send it right back. Gets it over Forrest into the corner, but just barely. Calster now able to fire it back. Zero Vibes gets just a slight touch to the left side, going to come off the bottom corner and hit the ceiling. Wubik will not play it in. He's got, all of a sudden, Zero Vibes, and the counterattack started for the Senators and now will fizzle out. Here comes Forrest, gets the ball into the Senators side. Zero Vibes now tries to get it by Calster. Can't get there. Now Wubik going to catch this, play it in. Conundrum meeting the ball at midfield, drops it up for Calster. Wubik is there once again, catches the ball. Nice bump on Conundrum by Latumos. And now the ball comes in. That's going to be just left of the goal. It's going to pop off the bottom corner, however. And now sent towards the net. All 3 members made a save attempt on that one for the Rhythm. And with just under half the game gone here, Flash, the Senators so far looking good after their little bit of a gift from the Rhythm.
Yeah, Senators are almost looking like a different team here after dropping the first 2. They're in game number 4 here. I think realizing that they have a fighting chance at this, right? You know, they just keep doing what they're doing and slowly chip away at the Rhythm, and they could, you know, not only win this game, but pull off the reverse sweep. So, we'll see what the Rhythm have in store. I mean, still plenty of time left. You are only down by 1 if you're Rochester, so not, you know, needing to hit the panic button by any means, but it's just, again, we talked about before where, you know, if you're down in the game, eventually you're going to have to start fighting the clock as well, right? So that's what the Rhythm are trying to avoid here right now, where we were not that long ago at the halfway mark, and now we're about hitting the 90-second mark. Again, the Rhythm want to get something on here sooner than later, especially before the Senators potentially, you know, go up 2-0 in this series. So we'll see what happens right on cue. Sometimes I drag my point out long enough where it makes their caster look really, really good. We call that a caster blessing. I know caster curse is a popular term, but I'm hoping caster blessing catches on one of these days. So
we're going to get that trending on Twitter, don't worry.
Yeah, that'll be my 15 seconds of Limelight or whatever. Rochester does knot this one up again right before the 90-second horn. Again, trying to, as a reminder, shut out the Senators. Calster does have a breakaway here, and that is convincing, you know, that the Rochester wants to walk away with this win and not even entertain a game number 5.
Yeah, Zero Vibes, just an absolute whiff on the side wall. He was the last man back. Nothing that the Senators can do about that once it misses. Zero Vibes. 1:19 to go, game number 4, and all of a sudden the Rhythm once again in the driver's seat to take this series win. Wubik now going to clear it away from the front of the net. Fours looks to clear that away. Now Wubik will play it in back towards the face-off circle. Calster drops it down, looking for Forrest, who plays it just barely into the Senators zone. Here comes Latumos, gets demoed in the process by Calster. Ball taken away. Fours meets Zero Vibes. Now Conundrum going to play it in off the left wall. And the ball dropped in. Oh my goodness! Calster with an absolute angle takes a 2-goal lead with 52 seconds to go.
Yeah, he comes off the pass from Conundrum there. If you even want to call it that, it's just Conundrum is able to get the ball over to his teammate, but Calster just makes almost something out of nothing there, right? He's got that fruit goal explosion. That's like bringing fruit salad to the party, and people are like, "Wait, fruit salad? That's a thing?" Yep, he just slapped together a bunch of fruit and put it in a bowl. He made something out of nothing, folks. And turns out people like it. And now people bring fruit salads to parties, and that is the origin story of fruit salads. You're welcome. So, 30-second horn does sound off. Probably a signal for this caster to stop making lame references as well. But sorry, chat, you got to put up with me regardless. So does 20 Fat Man. So I'm sorry, pal. But final 15 seconds, Rochester, in the blink of an eye, really, though. And when we get back to this series, we look back at it, though, it seemed like for just a moment that the Senators really could push the distance, right? They really could push this reverse sweep. And the Rhythm just, they fell into a slump, right? They weren't looking as clean. Things were getting past them. They were making a few too many mistakes. And then it was just like, you know, they flipped a light switch and everything just came into place. Everything, you know, fell in line for them. And all of a sudden, just things started clicking, right? So, GG's all around. The Rhythm are going to go up in this, tying, I believe, our previous team that we saw, the Mankato Atlas, who fell to 5-1. The Rhythm move up to 5-1. So keep an eye on that, folks. The Senators do fall down to 1-5. That was a good showing for them. Remember, both teams had subs tonight, so it really could have gone either way. Good showing by both teams, and I mean, at the end of the day, the Rhythm walk away with the win, and that's all that matters.
No, absolutely, yeah. So congratulations to the Rochester Rhythm. They're going to move to 5-1 here on the season. St. Paul Senators will drop to 1-5. We're going to take a quick break, come back. We've got the third matchup tonight, the Minnetonka Barons taking on the Bloomington Maulers. So we're going to be back here right after this break with the Minnesota Championship Series.
All units, stand by to engage enemy targets. Mission accomplished. Well done.
Trying to buy some time for the team. Doesn't want to be in a situation going to overtime. Now a shot coming out from Cruz. He puts it top shelf.
Good for Gavin. And Brogan get a huge double there. Wildcats with 3 up for space. Messi tries to find He's down the lane of the field off the back wall. He's got the double tap. Oh! What is this game?
Kiss me like citrus and fire, burning slow and sweetly. Too shy to call you alive when you said you need me. In a week from now, I'll be trying not to call you. Talking myself down, explaining that there's no use. Ooh, I'm gonna hurt myself, trying to love you. You're gonna hurt me too, kiss and tell me to go soon. You're gonna hurt me too. You're gonna hurt me too. looking so pathetic. My anxiety sounded scraping against my necklace. In an hour from now, I'll be trying not to call you. Talking myself down, explaining that there's no use. Ooh, I'm gonna hurt myself trying to love you. You're gonna hurt me too. Kiss and tell me to go soon. You're gonna hurt me too. You're gonna hurt me too. You're gonna hurt me too.
Match 3 coming your way here with the Minnesota Championship Series. Spencer Hart, Funny Fat Man 1, joined by the Chewbacca to my Han Solo. Once again, it's Flash. And we took a quick break there, my friend. And we come in now here with the Minnetonka Barons coming in against the Bloomington Maulers. This one on paper is going to be a close one no matter what side of the ball you're on. Barons and Maulers both sitting at 3-2. Game win percentage sitting right around that 55 to 57% mark. So again, we look at the stats here of this match, pal, and there's no clear-cut favorite in this one.
No, and we're going to tee up a few other things for the chat here, but I'm going to try everything in my diamond brain power not to call them the Bloomington Barons and the Minnetonka Maulers, because I feel like something got mixed up at the creation of these teams, and the alliteration just never happened. So maybe that's just me, but I really want to call them the opposites of with the cities and the. You get what I'm saying. Anyways, the Bloomington Maulers and the Minnetonka Barons face off tonight, and like you mentioned, that this really couldn't be any closer. Same record, they're pretty even the rest of the way for a lot of the stats, and both teams are going to be featuring a sub tonight. So to throw a little bit more chaos in here, again, new players showcasing tonight, or at least being in this series.
Yeah, Goff is going to be subbing in for Bowie here for the Minnetonka Barons, and on the side of the Maulers, Thermal is going to take place of AO, and, we take a look at, we have access to each player's MMR, things like that. MMR alone, the substitution of Thermal in place of AO, I think is going to have a little bit more of a drastic effect than Goff is with Bowie. And the main reason because AO's MMR as of this week, 2016, Thermal is 1826. So quite a big difference from Supersonic Legend to Grand Champion where Thermal sits. So again, that may be a little bit of a difference here tonight, Flash.
Yeah, well, the MMR is only one part of it, right? Each of these players are all within a couple hundred points of each other, if not less than that. So it really showcases sometimes, or comes down to how well they can showcase some of their individual skills, some of those individual mechanics. Some of these players obviously work a little bit better in a team environment, and some of them thrive in those one-on-one situations. So whether you have an MMR plus minus that 2,000 mark, I think what it really comes down to is, are you going to do more to help your team win than hurt them, right? Individual skill, that individual MMR is certainly an important factor into this, and we'll certainly see how that plays out. And if that becomes more of a talking point, more than just the pregame here, when we do talk about subbing out players, and then you do have some of that MMR difference between those teammates.
Yeah, and we look at just some of the individual stats here as well. About 8 shots per game for both teams. A shooting percentage a little bit in favor of the Barons, but the big one I know you're going to like as well. Close to 4 demos a game for the Minnetonka Barons, so they come out pretty aggressive in these matches a lot of the time. So we'll see if that makes any difference here as we are going to head into the match. 6 players, 3 aside, 5 minutes on the clock. Here we go. It's going to be once again the Minnetonka Barons versus the Bloomington Maulers. Ball sent in, comes off the backboard. The Barons now looking to center it up. Here comes Goff, whip it around, plays it in. Ball now sent away by Thermal, and now was looking to start the counterattack for the Maulers instead. Now it comes in. Here comes Perg. Perg is going to send it in, and now Riker is looking to get it away from the front of the net. Here comes Gatman. Now Riker sends it up, looking for Gatman to get a touch on it. And now ball comes off the top corner. Goff puts it up the side wall, looking for a teammate. Nobody home. Perg sends it in towards the net. Riker able to clear the way back to the corner. And now start the counterattack. Well, it was going to start the counterattack until Goff ate the demo on that one. Ball centered now, looking to drop down. Bolt Destroyer, not able to get enough on it, but Perg now looking to center it up. Riker drops it away just outside the box. Goff will grab the 100 boost, and now will hit in front of the net. Ball sent towards the goal. Perg now sends it up just to the right of the net. Goff drops it into the corner. Into the box we go, towards the net, just off the right post. Second attempt sent in by Thermal, cut aside by Goff. And just over a minute, just under a minute and a half gone, I should say, Sheriff. And right now, both these teams look pretty even like we thought during the pregame.
Yeah, absolutely. Even as even can get. And however, the Maulers, I believe, are winning the demo battle, right? It hasn't translated into a lot so far. We'll see if that also becomes more of a talking point as we get further into this series. But both of them really just trying to find their footing as Gatman saves Riker there to keep this push alive. Does center one on net. Thermal, the substitute player for the Maulers, able to make a save there. Volt's going to send it back over to Perg. Cut off by Goff. And yeah, we just once again get back into this game of ping pong where neither side is really able to accomplish a whole lot. As I say that, Riker is able to settle this down potentially for a teammate, but it does go a little wide and a little high of the goal of the Maulers. Now Volt's trying to get something going.
Oh my goodness!
An adjustment there, but just a little too much mustard on that one, and the Barons are able to clear that one. So, high-flying action. Things are starting to quicken up a little bit here. Half this game is already gone, but still zeros on the scoreboard, Spencer.
Yeah, and God bless coach of the Maulers being in chat as well, helping us out on the casting site. It is Perg, so confirmed on our end. Thank you so much, coach, for that one. Thermal going to set it up, looking for a teammate. Drops it down just to the left of the net on the shot attempt by Perg. Here comes Gatman looking to start the counterattack, taken away by Volt Destroyer, looking to waterfall the ball down. Goff able to clear it off the back wall. Perg now puts it into the corner, taken away here now by Riker. Thermal keeping up the counterattack for the Maulers. Ball bouncing in front of the net, nobody coming in. The save attempt by Riker on the shot by Perg. Now Volt Destroyer looking for the double touch down, gets it just off the left post. Perg now looking to get it into the open net, and the demo is going to prove costly for the Barons as the Maulers take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, this demo translates beautifully as Volt's in the goal with Riker, but Riker just must not be looking in his rear view camera or mirror, if you remember what those are. All these kids using their cameras these days in their cars. Does anyone use those mirrors anymore? Anyways, Riker does eat that demo, and it just opens up the goal beautifully for the Maulers, giving them the 1-0 lead. Another demo comes in, and who knows, this might start to become more of a talking point the more demos that come in. Again, and they were tied for the most part in that, but it just ever so slightly favored the Barons. I mean, that's all fine and dandy, but if the Maulers are going to make more use out of them, I mean, it's going to easily favor the Maulers very quickly in this game and in this series. So we'll see, again, as these games progress, as the series progresses, will the Barons be able to step up their demo game to, deliver some justice of their own, or, are the Maulers just going to kind of run away with this one? So final 60 seconds here, that horn goes off. The Barons are trying to get something going here, at least tie this game up, as Riker tries to get something going, delivers a demo, but it's all for nothing there as the ball is still on their corner. So we'll see if Volts can get something here. Final 45 seconds. Spencer, I mean, ever since that goal, it looks like the Maulers are in firm control of this.
Yeah, and right there, an amazing save by Gatman, dropping it down towards the net. The second save by Gatman. The Minnetonka Barons at least keeping it close. So again, it could still go either way here. Ball floating down in front of the net. Riker looking to pop it up. Gatman looking to fire in a shot. Can't get enough on it. Gatman looking to keep it in front of the net in the box. Now Goff wins the 50, but can't keep possession for the Barons. Final 10 seconds of game number 1. 5 seconds now. Gatman takes it in. 3 seconds. Ball sent towards the net. Goff, they need to keep it up. Riker needs to keep it up. The double commit. Gatman needs to retreat. Keep it up. Goff is there as well, but Volt is going to put it in. Ball floated up in front of the net. It's going to drop down, taken away by Perg. Now off the side wall. Here comes Thermal, and now Goff is there as well. Keeps it up in the air. Volt now puts it in. Kept up but off the bottom of the car, and that is going to do it. The Maulers are going to take game number 1 here from the Barons.
Yeah, we talked about, AO is being subbed out for Thermal here. AO, we talked about how he's got, just north of that 2,000 MMR, whereas Thermal's sitting at about 1,800. So we thought that might have a little bit more of an impact here, but maybe not. Sometimes you got to make use of these subs when your star players can't be in there. So when you got to call up that bench, it's good to see someone like Thermal and Goff, for that matter. Didn't necessarily have as much of an impact as Thermal, but again, when you gotta make use of your bench players, you really want to have as much synergy as you would with your normal lineup, right? You want to have as little differences as possible.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. So look to see if the Barons can keep off their offensive pressure because it was looking pretty good, but just keep a little bit more organization here as we head into game number 2. 5 minutes on the clock. Perg is going to take the face-off away from Volt. Drop down. Volt is there looking for a shot attempt. Perg looking for a redirect. Riker gets credit for the save. Second attempt sent in. Can't get there is... I'm not quite sure. That was Goff in the net, but Thermal is going to score on the second opportunity, and 10 seconds in, the Maulers keeping up their pressure from game number 1.
Yeah, Goff and I think it was Gatman had kind of double committed there. Goff kind of gets awkwardly spun into the back of the goal there. He's trying to, get his car all situated, but he's not able to get a clean, grip of what's going on there, and that ball does go into the side of the Maulers. So Maulers get a much faster goal on this series, in this game, looking to push their advantage, knowing they got game 1 on lockdown. Whereas on the side of the Barons, they're trying to get something going. Dangerous play by Riker. Do not advise in any rank that you are in. And it does bite them as Perg comes in. Yeah, we have to relive this in slow motion now. Riker, my boy, what are you doing? Oh, my God. If it doesn't work in Grand Platinum, I guarantee you it doesn't work in Grand Champ either. And it just... Oh, man, I'm sure I'm just preaching to the choir that is the chat who would, almost certainly agree with me that that is such a risky maneuver. You have to be more than 110% confident. Spencer, I mean, I don't know how much more I can harp on this, but it just, oh man, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Well, ironically, the head coach of the Barons, also our producer tonight, I can probably hear him screaming in his own headset, "Abort! Abort!" as Thermal scores as well for the Maulers. And all of a sudden, a 3-0 lead for the Maulers. The wheels coming undone for the Minnetonka Barons, and they need to quickly go back to the drawing board here. And not only, just under a minute gone here, Flash, in game number 2. So something needs to change and quick for the Minnetonka Barons. Goff going to win the faceoff, and now we'll take it in. A little bit of confusion as to who was going to play that ball. Here comes now, that is Riker coming in. Gatman pops it up back towards mid, cut away by Thermal. Here comes Goff looking for a pass over to Gatman, cut off by Perg. And now Volt Destroyer puts it in, easy in the net, nobody back for the Barons, and like I said, the wheels coming off here in game number 2.
Yeah, it's not looking good, and this team's got to hit a mid-game mental reset button. You don't have the luxury of going between games or even between weeks, against different opponents. You got to do it on the fly, and it's got to happen right now, especially if you want to, even have a shot in game number 2, but I would say more importantly, have a shot in this series. Right, this game is hard to come back when you're down 4 goals. Now you do have the luxury of having 3+ minutes on the clock to work with the Barons. But again, not to get too forward thinking. Again, they really got to hit this mid-game reset button as Gatman makes a beautiful save there to keep their hopes alive in this series. And that's the player that I'm going to keep an eye on for the rest of this series on the side of the Barons is Gatman. Could be Goff though, as I was going to make the comment that Goff is the sub and Riker's been looking a little shaky with some of the ball handling. So as I say that though, Riker and Goff are out to prove this caster wrong as they set each other up to potentially start the counterattack for this game and the series. So who knows? I mean, any player's got to be able to step up is the point. My pick is for the Barons is going to be Gatman. I swear they can't hear me. Apparently Riker's just mad now that I threw him under the bus about that whole pass, and he wants revenge. I'm really sorry, buddy. I don't know what to say. Whatever. It's I'm really sorry. He can't hear me, folks, I swear. So
both of those shots hitting I-94 speed levels, and the third goal goes in for the Barons, and all of a sudden, it's a completely different ball game. Oh my goodness! What is happening?
I don't know. This is whatever. 2:47 on the clock.
Add a fourth. Come on, let's go.
I'm speechless. I really am on that one. I don't know. I'm really trying to look back on what happened in the last 45 seconds, and I don't know if I have an answer, Spencer, other than the fact that, you know, the Maulers have got to feel silly on that, and the only way to come back from that is putting one in the net. Thermal buries this one after he flips it past one of the Barons team members. That's the only thing you're going to be able to do to recover from this before the Barons tack on another one. So, very odd exchange of events there, proving that this game can flip in the blink of an eye if you're not paying attention. I'm sure we've seen plenty of moments with the RLCS happening, you know, these past couple days as well. So we get into what has been somewhat of a strange game number 2. Perg makes the save of a lifetime there, as the Barons are showcasing that they're not out of this quite yet, but the Maulers still with a healthy lead of 2 goals, Spencer.
Yeah, ball not going to be flipped off of Perg's car. Here comes Goff putting it in. That is on net and into the net! Oh my goodness! Goff with another brilliant play off the ceiling. That is his second of the game. And he's going to get credit for the own goal off of the top of Perg's car. Whew! My goodness! I did not think this game was going to be as high-flying and exciting as I thought it was going to be. And now here comes...
I would like to call for a substitute. If these players can call for a substitute, I think we need to call for a substitute, because I can't collect my thoughts fast enough. We've had five goals at least in the last 90 seconds.
Make it 6! Oh!
Potentially a 6. Yes, never mind the fact that this game is going to potentially go on double digits for goals scored, but half of those have damn near come in the last 90 seconds.
Yeah.
So... if anything else, I'm going to need a drink of water here. My goodness. But
you and I will call for a tactical timeout here at the
there
end
we
of
go. Oh, man. Mauler's still on top. We're about 60, 65 seconds left of, well, just as a reminder, game number 2. The first one went the side of the Maulers. But this one is easily much different, as Gatman's getting playing around within the corner there. Goff able to make the save. And now less than 60 seconds. This really could go either way.
Yeah, and it's going to be a wild ride to the finish. Goff is trying to get a ball in. Now here's Gatman, catches the ball, gets it over Thermal. Ball centered now, looking for Riker to drop it down. Comes off the backboard, double commit. And now no harm, no foul on the side of the Maulers. We are now going to inch closer to the 30-second mark. Ball sent in. Goff looking for the redirect. Wow. Save by Perg. Gatman keeps it in front of the net, in the box, and in on the shot from Goff. Double-digit goals as the game is tied with 25 seconds to go.
Yeah, Goff just gets up there, and he gets up there quick. He able to beat Thermal as a quick pinch from Gatman. Sends that ball skyrocketing. Less than 30 seconds now. Gatman and Volt meet up in the middle. Thermal's going to win this one. Try to settle it down. Riker's going to win that one. Then goes back to Perg. Back to Volt. Volt gets a sneaky shot in here. After a quick change of events, like I said, it went off Riker. Perg comes in, really speeds things up there, and Volt's able to send it in at 83 miles an hour. Saying whatever you can do, we can do better, with the Maulers once again on top of this game.
Final 15 seconds, and let's see if Goff can add a 6th. He's going to get it over to Gatman, can't get it to him. Final 7 seconds, I should say. Ball will be dropped in. Goff sends in a shot off the crossbar. Second attempt. Oh, no! Oh, Riker had a shot at tying the game and sending it into overtime. But it didn't get enough on it, and the Maulers will take game number 2.
We're not even going to look at the shots. We're not even going to look at the shots. We know what happened in that game. Everybody was there for it. My goodness, it literally came down to the wire without going into overtime, which is tough. Needless to say, you don't see many of these games get this high scoring without going into overtime, right? You'd expect that 5-5 stat line and then the 6th be in overtime. So the Maulers stay on top here. What was a much closer game, and really, you know, things didn't really start to heat up until that 2-minute mark or so, where again the Maulers had that 3-goal lead, and suddenly the Barons put on a triple. They put in the hat trick to really give this game and that team to life. The real question, though, is can they keep that up? Because all of that, and then you still lose the game. Oh man, it's going to be a tall order for the Barons, even though both of these teams really put everything out on the field.
Yeah, team spawning in for game number 3. The Maulers now all of a sudden on match point over there in Bloomington. 5 minutes on the clock. Here we go. Riker is going to send off the faceoff back into the side of the Maulers. Dropped into the corner here by Volt. Now put off the back wall. Double commit on the side of the Maulers. Riker needs to get back and make a save. And he gets it off the post, but the second opportunity now sent wide left. Thermal gets bumped by Goff. Riker and Gatman double commit. Gatman will pop it up looking for Goff. Instead gets the second touch on it. Now here comes Volt playing it in for the Maulers. Gatman will just pop it off the front of his car. Actually got a mistouch on it. Confusion on the sidewall. Now centered. My goodness, that was dangerous. And now Riker and Gatman bump into each other. My goodness, the Barons is running into each other within the last 60 seconds. And now put in by Thermal on the pass by Volt Destroyer. And the Barons are their own worst enemy within 45 seconds of game number 1.
Yeah, it's not what you want to see in what is, could be the deciding game for this series. And the nicknamed Super Sub comes in Thermal to give his team, the early lead once again in this series. Thermal makes a beautiful block there, forcing Riker to make a desperation save there. Goff able to make another desperation save as Bloomington had a solid offensive look there. Volt able to clean things up in the corner as, the Barons, like you said, they have enough on their plate in taking down the Maulers. They're trying to keep up with them. Never mind the clock. The last thing they need is to be bumping into each other. So look for them to clean that up and clean it up now. Otherwise, this game, you can kiss it goodbye.
Ball sent in. Oh my goodness. Almost gets by Goff. Gets credit for the save. Thermal now up to play it off the side wall. Doesn't get enough on it, but gets it towards the net. Riker able to clear that away. That's his third save already in this game. Ball now sent in towards the net by Purg, and a 2-0 lead for the Maulers with 3:25 to go.
All right. I see you, Purg, ripping that old Halloween decal. What are you doing, guy? It's spring. Never mind, you're rocking a hot pink car and some old Halloween decal. Whatever, man. Again, I've said it before. You can deck out your car however you want. If you're scoring and you're winning, I mean, whatever. Looks good, man. Looks good. So, Gatman trying to settle this one down. Knowing what's on the line, I mentioned their name earlier on in this series, that they were my player to keep an eye on, with Goff being the sub, having, Riker having a few miscues. I was really looking for Gatman to step up, maybe take a little bit more ownership of this series. But we have seen, especially in game number 2, Riker and Goff try to clean things up a little bit as well. So, the only thing I can think of is, this the substitute for both teams, it's perhaps affecting the Barons a little bit more than it is the Maulers, because Thermal has looked, just rock solid out there as a miscue from the Maulers there. That ball just 18 miles an hour, had all day to get there and then some. The Maulers are going to want that one back. Good on the Barons to, inch a little bit closer to keep their hopes alive in this series. Remember, both teams are tied up in the standings, so definitely a pivotal game for both of these teams to climb higher up that ladder in this terms of the standings. Currently, this game is 2-0 going the side of the Maulers, but once again, the Barons are coming in and not going down without a fight, trying to stay alive in this series, courtesy of Gatman to Riker on that second goal.
Yeah, game now tied at 2 with 2:28 to go in game number 3, and all of a sudden the Barons just kind of turning up their offense as Volt Destroyer can't get a touch on that, sends it back towards mid. Perk waiting for it. And now the ball will be settled down. Riker able to get the 50 win, but the ball still in the zone of the Barons. Here comes Goff, doesn't get the touch on it, will not play it in. Perk able to keep it in the zone. Volt Destroyer now pops it up back towards center. Thermal takes it into the zone of the Barons. Now Goff looking to get this in for the Barons, looking to take it the entire way himself off the crossbar. Gatman puts it in. 3-2 lead for the Barons.
There we go. Gatman was. No, I'm not going to say it. I was going to make some stupid pun. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. Never mind. Oh, man. Gatman was the shadow there to Goff. And, you know, really able there as an insurance policy to make sure that one goes in because Goff had a clean look. Perg had a cleaner look on this kickoff goal. Let's rewind the tape here. Goff does meet in the middle with, yeah, it was Thermal. Gatman kind of, you know, dips his car a little bit to the left as Perg comes off to the right, and just the rest is history. We are essentially back to zeros on the board with less than 2 minutes left.
An absolute shootout of this series, living up to its name. Goff coming in. Nice 50 win by Volt. Somebody's got to rush back and clear it away. That is Riker. Volt able to put it off the top bar now. Here comes Perg putting it in. Gatman puts it off the top corner once again. Riker can't get a touch on it. Comes off the ceiling. Puts it in back to the corner. Thermal now is going to backflip. Can't get it away from, from Riker. And now here comes Thermal. Goff plays it in. All three members pushed up for just a moment. Ball can't get by Perg, but Riker going to fire it in. Trying to put it in back towards Goff on a redirect. Can't get there in time. Now Goff will whip around. Put it up for Riker to get the redirect down. Looking for a double touch in. It's on net, and it is, oh my goodness, what a save by Thermal. That ball was 99% in the net. Oh my goodness.
We need to rewind that for a second because Riker makes a beautiful adjustment on there, follows that ball all the way through, and then is able to redirect it down into the goal. How that didn't go in has still just befuddled these casters, but it's just, what a save indeed, because that is what's keeping the Maulers alive. Thermal makes another clutch save there. We're nearing the 30-second mark there. There's that horn. This is do or die for the Barons. If they lose this, they are out. They drop a little bit in the standings, and the Maulers walk away with this one. Again, they're on match point. The Maulers are trying everything to make sure this doesn't go to a Game 4 or Game 5 for that matter. Meanwhile, the Barons nearing out about 10 seconds here. Goff on the counterattack does get cut off. We'll see if the Barons can make something happen here without getting too greedy. They do have the breakaway. Gatman's got open net, does get the double there, and the Dragons come out in victory. We slow this one down, and it is all Barons.
1 second left on the clock. Gatman takes the lead for the Barons. We will see how this face-off goes. Ball popped in, gonna stay on the turf, and the Minnetonka Barons steal a game away from the Maulers.
Wow. Yeah, don't look now, folks.
You want to catch your breath?
Oh, man, this is... I hope the chat doesn't like defense, because this game is anything but that. You know, the first game might have been the closest, where since then, you know, the second game we had a total combined score of 11. This one not as high, but sitting at 7. And it just... These teams are throwing everything they have and leaving everything out on the pitch. You look at the shots, saves, assists, goals. It doesn't matter. The score, it doesn't matter, despite some salty people in my chat lobbies who just like to say scoreboard, you know, in quick chat and just try to make me feel bad. But it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because as you've been following along in this series, these players are certainly leaving everything on the field. But eventually something's got to give, right? And the Barons, with 1 second left, squeak it out, keeping this series alive.
Man alive, we are going to head into game number 4. The Minnetonka Barons riding high on their Game 3 win, looking to start the process and start a reverse sweep here. They're on the right path, 5 minutes on the clock. Here we go. Perg and Riker going to head in. Ball now sent in by Gatman, going to head up. Play the ball in. Here comes Goff to play it off the top corner. Ball centered into the box. Riker is going to get just a touch on it to keep it in the zone. We'll look for the flip reset. He gets it, but he can't get it towards the net. No follow-up from the Barons. Ball kept in the zone, however. Now going to hit the bottom corner. Gatman going to look to flip it up. Can't get it by Perg. Ball still floating in the corner, however, so the Barons will remain on offense. Now Goff dropping it down for Gatman, who can't get enough on it. Just pops it up. and Volt Destroyer gets in the way. Goff now looking for a redirect towards the net, comes off the backboard, looking for Gatman, sent towards the net, and it's in! 1-0 Barons!
Yeah, we got to slow this one down. This is all three members getting involved on this one, just barely. A little bit of help from Volt as well. Gatman didn't have the best angle on it, so just knowing that his car was up there, Volt may have felt a little pressured to equally go up there and try to make something happen. Gets a little bit of a pinch there, and it does go to favor in favor of the Barons. Gatman able to secure that goal. And for the first time, I think this series, the Barons have the lead, and they are able to get on the board first. So we'll see how the Maulers are able to respond in this, because they've been able to, if anything else, stay on top for a lot of these games, if not, dictate a lot of what happens, despite how much the Barons try to fight back. And as I say that, the Barons are, I think they found the aisle for the reverse sweep. I think it was in aisle 3. They've been shopping. They've been there's kids screaming. They had to ask somebody for directions. I think they finally found what aisle the reverse sweep is in, and now they're racing for the checkout, Spencer. They are trying to make it happen because they do not want to go empty-handed tonight.
Thermal now looking to take it away from Goff, gets it by him, and now here comes Riker on the counterattack for the Barons. Ball now sent in by Perg. Now fired back by Goff. Thermal, last man back, able to clear it in. Riker clears it away from the front of the net, keeps it out of the box. Now Riker wins the 50. Here comes Gatman, plays it over. Thermal will head up, play the ball back towards the face-off circle. Volt Destroyer with a nice play off his hood, but can't get it by Riker, who's going to get credit for the save. Gatman plays it off the ceiling, looking to flip it in back towards Riker. Here comes Goff, plays it in. Thermal takes it away, puts it back into the box. Volt Destroyer looking to get the touch in, and nobody in front. Thermal had an opportunity, but absolutely whiffed on the ball. Volt Destroyer now looking to drop it down. Caught by Riker and then sent in by Goff. An absolute missile. Ball's going to waterfall down in front of the net and off the post. And oh my goodness, Perg put it in himself, and Riker is going to get credit for the third goal for the Minnetonka Barons.
Yeah, Riker makes that last touch there, and I think Perg just had too much momentum there. Things certainly got chaotic there and happened in the blink of an eye. Much easier to dissect that when things slow down in the replay for us. But it's just, I think Perg had too much momentum. Certainly wasn't, I think basically was either expecting Riker to put that in or it was going to go wide. The last thing they were expecting was to hit the side goal post and have that ball, come directly back in front of them, as Volt makes a beautiful pass there trying to get his team going. But yeah, can't fault Perg too much on that one. Again, things were happening in the blink of an eye as Riker tries to put another one on here, and it's like we're seeing a renewed Barons squad tonight out of Minnetonka, because they again have a commanding lead in this game now.
Yeah, just over 2 minutes left. Another shot attempt by Gatman. Perg now looking to take it out of the zone. Volt finally gets it out. Goff is going to head up, pinch it off the side wall. It's going to hit the ceiling. Now looking to get a second touch, cut away by Thermal. Here comes Perg looking for a redirect, plays it off the corner wall. Riker keeps it away out of the box. And now Gatman starts to counterattack for the Barons, puts it in towards the net. Perg gets credit for that save. Goff now going to head up, play it off the bottom of his car. Riker keeps it in the zone for just a moment, now set out. Perg is there, looking to get a centering attempt in. Riker able to clear the way out of him, and nice play by the Barons to get the ball out of the zone. Now going to hit the corner, and now sent in off the crossbar by Goff. It's not going to go in, unfortunately. Riker now going to just send it back and let the Barons reset. Gatman and Perg meet in the corner. 50 win goes to the Maulers, as we just have just over 60 seconds to go. I can tell time, I promise, Chad. Perg now going to drop it in, back off the face-off. 60 seconds left here. Gatman playing it in. Got a second touch. Riker was waiting for that. Thermal clears it away. Goff dropping it down. Everybody going to whip around. Riker is the last man back, going to clear it away from the net. Goff waiting to pass, drops it in. Looking to put it in for Gatman. The 1-2-3 equals the number 4 goal for the Barons.
That was a good recovery. After the, I blame the whole time zone difference. Screwing us up. We can't tell time anymore. We got Tibbles in chat demanding we get the brooms out. They found the reverse sweep aisle in aisle 3. Conveniently, the brooms are in aisle number 4. So the Barons continue their shopping trip here, trying to make a reverse sweep here happen. Goff was denied there, the 5th goal, as we are down less than 30 seconds here. And this is the most one-sided game we've seen so far in our series. There we go. Riker gets the 5th one. Gatman with a celebration demo, if you will. But it just, again, those middle games 2 and 3, were just a fiesta of just goal after goal, where all of a sudden now this is again the most lopsided game we've seen so far in favor of the Barons, and this could spell disaster for the Maulers going into what is going to be game number 5. Barons on the reverse sweep train. Maulers trying to prevent that at all costs possible. So final seconds tick down here, and we have our very first game 5 tonight.
Yeah, was waiting for the ball to drop down. Riker will let it drop, and the Barons take game number 4. Reverse sweep alert in the chat. The Barons have the opportunity to take that reverse sweep. I have a question with a reverse sweep. Do you sweep with the stick of the broom with a reverse sweep, or how does that work?
What? I'm not following. What do you mean?
Yeah, well, with a broom, you use the actual broom. With a reverse sweep, do you turn it upside down and use the use the handle of the broom?
I was like, well, we all watch Karate Kid, right? Little, wax on, wax off motion. Little, there's a lesson to be learned. I don't know, something with the brooms. Anyways, I'm picking up what you're throwing down now. But Jesus, we get game number 5. Usually it's me who throws you off with some crazy, wacky line or something.
It's a reverse sweep, so it's got to go in reverse.
I guess I'm the one being tongue twisted here, and there we go. 5 minutes on the clock. Thank you, game. Thank you, game 5, saving these casters from any further embarrassment. Catman gonna go up and meet Purg up in the corner there. And this is, again, game number 1 went the side of the Maulers, and that was a very low-scoring game. Game 2 and 3 were absolute barn burners. And then game number 4 is just the Barons show, right? They just put on an absolute clinic, 5-0, completely sweep the Maulers in there as if nothing had ever even happened. So we finally get to this game number 5, right? How did it happen? How did we get here? At this point, it's, you can almost forget games 1 through 4. It all matters to what happens right now. And Riker realizes he can't get there, just lets it go in. And this one's going to go in courtesy of Purg. Let's slow this one down, see how it happens. Goff trying to flip that one in, but Purg there right away. And, 38 miles an hour, that'll do it.
Yeah, an absolute interception sent the other way. And the Maulers on top, but again, 4:17 to go. Plenty of time here for the Barons. Ball comes off the ceiling. Looking for a flip reset. Volt Destroyer able to clear that away. And now here comes the counterattack for the Maulers. Volt loses possession for the Maulers, and now taken back by Thermal, looking to center it up. Here comes Purg, looking to drop it up for Volt Destroyer. Now looking to put it back towards center. Nobody pushing for the Barons, and all of a sudden, Goff able to get that out, but just barely. Goff, again, last man back, gets the 100 boost, but doesn't get the ball out of the zone. Goff will now head up. Gatman demos Volt Destroyer. And now Goff will play it off the top of his car. Thermal clears it up. Gatman's got to make a desperation save. He clears it away from the net. Now Gatman still working on 0 boost. Volt and Goff meet by the net. Here comes Purg putting it in. A nice save by Gatman. Second opportunity. Put off the back wall. Now Goff looking for the redirect. Here comes Volt. Plays it in. Now Purg from downtown looking to play it in towards the net. Gatman clears it away. Second opportunity put in off the post. Goff gets credit for the save. And the offensive pressure all of a sudden for the Maulers just turned up to 11.
Yeah, they're trying to recapture that fighting spirit they had in some of these earlier games where it was just nothing but offense, right? Throw a little cautioner to the wind, and didn't matter how high scoring that game was going to get as long as they came out on top. So it's almost like we're revisiting how this game started. 1-0 in favor of the Maulers. Goff with the second attempt there after Gatman tried to get one up. The Barons are able to keep this on the side of the Maulers. We'll see if they can make something happen here. Riker able to beat his man out, drops it down for Goff. He's going to flip, not able to get anything going either. And we'll see what the Maulers can do with a little bit of a counterattack with half this game gone. Again, the Maulers have command of this game. Now they certainly have command of this one as they go up 2-0 here as Thermal, Gatman tries to cut it off there, and that almost makes things worse.
An unfortunate pinch on the side of the Barons. And all of a sudden, the 2-goal lead for the Maulers and a couple of wasted offensive shots and pressure for the Barons, and they're going to want back. And now sent in off the face-off. Thermal cleaning up once again. And a 3-0 lead for the Maulers, and all of a sudden, they are right back in the driver's seat.
Yeah, that one, they're going to want that one back, Spence. They really do. The Maulers win that one, but Goff isn't able to make connection on it, and Riker's out getting boost. And beautiful. You kidding me? I'm just going to let this one play out.
There have been 3 goals in the span of about 20 seconds for the Maulers, and they just continue to twist the knife in the back of the Barons. 2:15 to go, game number 5, and the Barons all of a sudden on their back wheels. Thermal looking to make it 5. Bolt comes in, keeps it in. And now Perg looking to drop it in off the ceiling, wide right. Gatman looking to play it over Thermal, can't get it over him. And now we'll look to settle it down. Actually, Volt came in and played that into the Baron's side. And now loses possession. Riker will now play it back towards midfield. Now here comes Riker once again, playing off the back wall. Thermal able to clear that away off the back wall. Now Gatman looking to center it up for a teammate. Pinch back towards the face-off circle. Now Volt looking for the second touch into the net. Gets it in, but a save from Goff off the left post. Thermal keeps it in front of the net, right in front of the box. Gatman looking to get this out and get something going for the Barons. Here comes Perg dropping it down for Volt, who's just going to play it to the other side. Now Riker pops it up looking for Goff. Gatman there as well. Double commit on the side of the Barons. Now Gatman, he has one man to beat in the goal. Can't get it by Perg. And now Riker not able to get a touch in the corner as well. Neither can Goff. And all of a sudden a counterattack for the Maulers. Riker clears it away from the box. 60 seconds left here in game number 5. Riker just needs to touch this to get it over. Perg can't get there. Ball now sent in. Clear the side by Thermal. Riker just trying to get something going. Thermal takes it away once again. Put into the corner. Bolt Destroyer now looking to get it over Goff. Riker comes in as well. Gets credit for the clear. Perg fires it in towards the net. And that's going to do it. It's all elementary from here. A 5-goal lead for the Maulers with 37 seconds to go in game number 5.
Yeah, this series, folks, if you were fortunate enough to watch it from beginning to end, this had everything. Like I said, game 1 was truly that downloading process of, trying to figure out your opponent, how it's going to just dictate how the rest of the series is going to go. Again, games 2 and 3 were just absolute barn burners of a combined 11 goals and then a combined 7 goals. And then the unthinkable happened, where the Barons, out of you-know-where, pull out a 5-0 sweep in game number 4. And the Maulers are determined to say, whatever you can do, we can do better, because they are on the verge of a 6-0 sweep in the game that matters the most, and that's game number 5. Again, the Maulers didn't want to be here in the first place, but because they had that early lead, and the Barons were attempting the reverse sweep. But it just, in the end, the Maulers had just a little bit more stamina to, really see this thing through. Final 10 seconds are going to go. We'll see if the Barons can save face a little bit, try to put something on the net. Riker does make a save there. Gatman's going to get a touch. But, like you say, all elementary... all elementary. I think we're past elementary. The Maulers said, hop on the bus. You're going to school, boys. So, yeah, this one is going to go definitively the way of the Maulers in what was a very, very well-fought series from both teams. Again, they were even in the standings. The Maulers are going to go that much higher, and the Barons are going to go that much lower on the hierarchy here. But, man, oh man, did this series have everything and then some. Yeah,
the Minnetonka Barons are going to drop to 500 here at the halfway mark. Bloomington Maulers going to go to 4-2 and start to make the conversation to make their way up to the top of the leaderboard here in the Premier League. So again, both teams, we went into that match thinking there was no clear-cut winner, and it showed. We went to game number 5, albeit the Maulers absolutely mauled. See what I did there? The Barons here in game number 5. But again, shout out to both teams. An absolutely phenomenal match taking place here in session 3. We're going to take a quick break, come back with match number 4. It's going to be a battle of the 2 and 3 teams, the St. Cloud Flyers versus the Brainerd Victory. That's going to be next here on Minnesota Championship Series.
All units, stand by to engage enemy targets. Mission accomplished. Well done.
Trying to buy some time for the team who doesn't want to be in the situation going to overtime. Now a shot coming out from Cruz. He puts it top shelf.
Good for Gavin. And Brogan get a huge double there. Wildcats will free up some space. Mexi tries to find Tiki down the lane of the field off the back wall. He's got the double tap. Whoa! What is this game?
Welcome back to Minnesota Championship Series here on Twitch. Final match of the night coming your way. It is going to be the St. Cloud Flyers versus the Brainerd Victory. Spencer Hart, Funny Fat Man 1, joined on the left of me once again with the Abbott to my Costello. It is Flash. And Flash, it's been one hell of a night. A couple of a Game 5 thriller, a couple of reverse sweeps opportunities as well. So we'll see what match number 4 holds in store for us. And we've got the Flyers versus the Victory.
Yeah, and once again, this is going to be a very even series, at least on paper. Both the Victory and the Flyers coming in with that 2-3 record. Both trying to make a statement here tonight to, prove that they deserve a spot in the playoffs, because we're about halfway through this season. I believe it's 11 weeks, and we're on week number 6. So definitely a good time in the season to pick up a win. If you're going to pick one up, the time is now. Especially when you're sitting at that 2-3 record. You want to get to 500, ideally, if you're in that spot around the halfway mark. So, Mako's going to come in here for the Flyers and try to settle that down. Taken away by Papo, forcing Kai to get up. Ball centered down, dangerous territory for the Flyers, and it's PC McD on the side of the Victory, showcasing why his squad should be moving up the ladder tonight.
Yeah, just an unfortunate pop-up by Kai, and nothing really that Burf or Mako could do about it. And PC McD takes advantage, 4:22 to go in game number 1. Mako and PC McD gonna head in, win the face-off on the side of the Victory. Now Kai looking to get out of his zone. Oh, a rush attempt here for the Flyers on an offensive miscue by PC McD. Now the ball sent back towards mid. PC McD gonna set it up. Come off the back wall. Burf is just going to keep it out of the box for just a moment. Now Papo puts it in for a teammate. That's Lord. Ball sent in on a second opportunity. Burf with a phenomenal save. It will take it out of the zone for the Flyers. Now ball sent back towards the face-off circle. Mako bumps Lord. And now Lord gets bullied by Burf and sent back to the junkyard. PC McD now going to send it to the other side. Mako was awaiting that. So was Papo. Now Burf looking to clear it away. Pops it up right in front of his net. Ball put right in front of the net. Here comes Mako on a 2-on-1, looking to get it centered. Nice double touch and a nice redirect attempt by Kai. And now put back towards the goal. Kai looking to pop it up for Burf. Drop down. Second touch not available for Burf. Here comes Kai. Puts it towards the net, looking for a second touch or a teammate. Here comes Mako. And a nice save by Lord to keep it a 1-goal lead for the Victory.
Yeah, that was a solid attempt by the Flyers. Beautiful shot attempt coming down from the ceiling there. And another beautiful second attempt as well, but just not enough. The Victory able to stand tall on that one. Burf trying to come in again, screaming off the ceiling, as PC McD does get a long and lofty clear there, giving the Victory a little bit of a chance to reset, get some boost, kind of calm things down a little bit. They do have the lead, but that 1-goal lead can always be deceptive with any time left on the clock. So could be anyone's game. Again, still in command for the Victory as I say that. Don't even say Caster Curse chat. We've had plenty of those already. So you're late to the party. They've already been happening. I'm sorry, your invite probably got lost in the mail. I'll get you a new one. Kai does dunk one past PC McD there, giving the Flyers again their case at trying to move up the standings tonight, courtesy of Kai as he makes a save there, getting it done on both sides of the field. They do start a counterattack off of that one as well. And Spencer, I'm curious, this game number 1, we always talk about it being kind of that process where no team wants to, show their hand too early, right? It's like we're playing a high-stakes card game, and they don't want to jump the gun too early. But I'm curious as to your thoughts of what we've seen so far. We're still knotted up, right? It's like we got zeros on the board. Is there anything that jumps out to you on the screen that, it says, hey, this is the player to watch, or this is what I'm keeping an eye on?
Well, I mean, clearly right now on the side of the Flyers, we got to keep our eye on Kai and Mako. Kind of that 1-2 punch that we've seen in a lot of teams. If you can start to form that alliance with your teammates and get those passing plays in order. As a save comes in from Burf, and just an opportunity wasted by the Victory. But if you can get those passing plays in, they're next to indefensible. I mean, on the side of the victories, I mean, PC McD right now clearly the offensive favorite, 1 for 3 on a shot so far. With that, the only goal here for the victory is a shot attempt in from Kai, saved by PC McD, of course, like no other. But again, on paper, we're seeing what we saw on paper. Flash is that these teams very similar. You know, the same record, the same even match win. They came in with identical game records at 8 and 11. Their shooting percentage right around a percentage and a half within each other. Demo's about a tenth of a percent each other. So analytically, this game there's no clear-cut winner for this game like we saw last match as well.
Right.
So it's going to come down to, and this is going to sound silly, but it's going to come down to who wants this win more.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly wouldn't argue with that. When you are all knotted up, both on and off the field, stats, MMR, how cool your car looks, you name it, folks. Everything matters in this game. Someone play the Merc, damn it. Anyways, it really can come down to that of just who's going to want it more, especially I think when you have that losing record, right? No one wants to go further in the hole, and this is your shot at going up, you know, or at least getting to 500 with a 3-3 record. Mako to Kai.
No!
Kai does get it. I believe it goes from Kai. Yep, it goes from Kai. Papo gets a little bit involved there, but Kai to Mako, back to Kai as Lord and Papo are trying to get in the face there, and the Flyers squeak out a win there right at the very last possible second, giving the squad out of St. Cloud the early lead in our series.
I have no words. A 0-second goal, and that's exactly how you would figure a game like that would end. It is a 0-second goal, and that's exactly what we're talking about. Who wanted it more? Game 1, St. Cloud Flyers. I got nothing. Flash, that was an insanely picture perfect way to end game number 1, and honestly, perfect positioning by Kai. Nice, easy flip to just flip the ball over Papo in the goal. And my goodness, I mean, we take a look at the stats. 8 shots on net for the Flyers, 7 for the victory, 4 saves apiece on each side. But it's that 0-second goal for the Flyers that's going to win game number 1. And that, you know, we talk about momentum in this game. A 0-second goal is an absolute shot in the arm. So
yeah, we'll see if the Flyers can capitalize on that, because the one thing that stood out to me, looking at the stats again, you know, Mako and Kai definitely have some synergy there. The one thing that stood out to me for the Flyers was Burf had 3 saves, right? No one else in the game had 3 saves alone. They would total up for, you know, 3-4 saves as a team, but Burf had 3 saves all on his own. So definitely the defensive star for that team, while Mako and Kai get it done on the offensive side of the field. And then when I'm looking at the victory, PC McD was the only one to get, you know, a goal in there. Otherwise, with the, you know, flanked by Lord and Papo, there weren't a lot of assists or a lot of offensive help there for him. So I'm looking to see the victory turn it around a little bit. See if they can't get some of their more players in rotation besides PC McD. I've seen his name come up a few times in the chat, so plenty of fans, that's for sure. But again, this is a 3-man team. This is a 3-man game. Yes, you can certainly pop off sometimes, and everyone can jump in your backpack for a little bit of a ride, right, while you carry them. But for how long can you sustain that? Typically not very long. So is it advised to put it all on PC McD's back? Probably not. Which is why I'm counting on Lord and Papo to step it up a little bit here, and see if they can't disrupt, you know, when Mako and Kai come down the field.
All going to be sent into the box by Burf, and now here comes Mako, and here comes Kai as well. They're going to play it off the ceiling. Now going to be sent it in for Mako, sent towards the net, and in 1-0 St. Cloud Flyers.
Yeah, this one gets a little scrappy in the corner here. There was no clear-cut opportunity until that little flip from, go figure, Kai to Mako. Burf is waiting in the wings just in case the Flyers sense an offensive opportunity there, so they kind of emptied the net. NHL style, and really went for it. It does pay off in this case. So the Flyers early lead and a little bit more convincing now as we slow this one down. I believe it's all Mako sending it over to Kai this time. Yep.
Yeah, the clear-cut 1-2 punch for the St. Cloud Flyers. Mako and Kai.
That's
Burf
not
is
an
happy
easy
to
pass
play.
either. That's
No.
not an easy pass. Oh my.
That's a flip reset off the wall, back down to Kai. It's the ball. Look at the to be floated in. Mako wasn't able to get. I'm not quite sure what happened there. The ball just did go in. We're just gonna say that. Ball's gonna be popped into the air, and now Kai overshoots it. Burf needs to come in, clear that away. Here comes Burf on the counterattack now for the Flyers. 50 win. Kai could look to send it in. Saved by PC McD. And now Burf awaiting the touch, pops it in the air back at midfield. Now Papo plays it in. Here comes Mako dropping it down just a little too far for Kai. But the counterattack will still live on. Ball comes off the bottom corner. Kai was waiting for the touch. Mako demos Papo. But the counterattack still on the air for PC McD. Doesn't get enough on it. Playing the fake. Now going to come off the back wall. Here comes Kai. Can't get a touch on it. Now Burf gets it out, just barely out of the zone to the other side, waiting Mako's touch. And now Mako puts it in just the top of the box. Burf and Lord meet back towards center. Burf just absolutely bullied that ball away from Lord. Here comes Mako now with Burf flanking on the right side. Will play it into the bottom corner. And a 50 win here for Lord in the corner now. But here comes Kai, put towards the net, and a save by Papo. And ball is sent towards the other side. My goodness, that was almost a save goal. We've seen those from time to time. Pinched in, ball is going to come off the top corner, a waterfall down. And now looking for a double touch is PC McD, and he will score.
Yep, that was set up, and it doesn't got to be pretty, but Lord's able to get a touch on that as crisscross applesauce. The Flyers go every which way but the direction of that ball, giving the victory a shot at victory here, cutting that lead in half. PC McD coming up for this one again. Mako's going to get a touch on this. And the one thing I wanted to check on here, while that was all kind of breaking down, was, you know, we've touched on MMR just a hair throughout some of these games that we've casted tonight. And the Flyers, with the exception of Kai, are all north of 1900, right? The highest on the victory is Papo with, you know, just over 1800. Otherwise, PC McD and Lord are sitting below either 18 or 1700. So this should be in the favor. Again, looking at the numbers, looking at that MMR, right? And your ranking, this should go the way of the Flyers. But again, these players are all within a couple hundred points of each other, so sometimes that doesn't tell the full story. If anything else, it's given us a little bit more insight as to, you know, Kai and Mako having some of that clean synergy, right? Burf able to, you know, make those touches when they count or when they matter the most and be solid on defense. So if anything else, we've seen the Flyers be a little bit cleaner in their gameplay tonight, just because I would translate that just because they're a little bit higher ranked, right? So their mechanics are probably a little bit cleaner as well. But that doesn't mean the victory aren't going down without a fight. On the other side, though, that, you know, the Kai just wants to prove me wrong, apparently, as it's set up by Burf from somewhat of an awkward angle that settles down courtesy of the victory. So it's just a weird exchange there, as Kai is able to make the most of it. Less than 30 seconds when it matters the most. We'll see if the victory can get something on the board and get it on here soon. Otherwise, they're going to go down early in this series 2-0.
Yeah, 15 seconds left on the clock. Mako's going to head up, look to play it off the top corner. Cleared aside by Lord. Final 10 seconds. Burf going to play off top corner, looking for a flip reset, in, down, and he gets the kiss from the post. 4-1 Flyers, and that's going to do it here in game number 2.
Wonder if it's his birthday. And I wonder if anyone's ever made the joke happy birthday. Might as well be his birthday, right? I'm going to keep saying birthday. I think it's funny. So, how about that to end this series, or end this game, excuse me, as Burf, I don't know why we're playing this song. We should be playing Happy Birthday. Goodness, we got to get that figured out. Anyways.
Give a call up to the audio booth.
Oh, God. Let's pull up the stat sheet and save myself a little bit further. Oh, God. Yep, the chat Oh, the chat does like it. The chat is a little bit in favor of that one. Thank you, chat, for
Loved
not.
it.
Thank you for not completely roasting me on that one. As the thing that stands out this game is Kai with 6 shots, 1 assist, 2 goals. Definitely an offensive powerhouse for that Flyer squad.
Well, not only Kai, but 9 shots in total for the Flyers compared to 3 for the Victory. So the offensive Jets turned on for St. Cloud here in game number 2 as they are now on match point, looking to sweep the Brainerd Victory here in the last matchup of the night. And something's got to go the way of the Brainerd Victory here, and quick. You take a quick timeout and try to figure out what's going on, because something right now is not working very well.
Yeah, it's got to be a team effort, right? I think I'm going to go back to that where, PC McD has kind of had the flash in the pan moments there, but it's got to be a team effort from this Victory squad, or they got to hit that reset button, that mental reset button in between games, and perhaps mid-game as well. Good look from PC McD early here to put some pressure onto the Flyers, who have the commanding lead in this series, but again, it's got to be all or nothing, right? The whole team's got to be all in. There's got to be no doubt from any players or just this team as a whole. Everybody's got to be on the same page thinking that we can win this, we got to do this now. Otherwise, they're going home empty-handed. And meanwhile, the side of the Flyers, not much you got to change, right? Your first 2 games looked pretty convincing. So you can keep that up, you're going to walk away with an easy win.
PC McD can't get a touch on it. Burf going to send it into the corner, and now we'll chase it down. Popo gets it away from Burf. And now the counterattack comes in here for the Victory. Mako able to clear that away. Cut off by Lord, pinched in by Mako, and Kai meet there as well. Ball sent towards the net. Nobody home for the Flyers. And the Victory score the first goal 58 seconds into game number 3.
Yeah, good look from Lord, PC McD, and then back to Lord there as Lord gets his squad the early lead in this game. That matters the most for that squad, right? We're on game 3, we're on do or die moment here. And that's what I touched on not that long ago, is the side of the Victory, they got to be all in, right? There's got to be no shred of a doubt here that, of anything if they want to have a shot at this series. So long flying attempt there. Lord was in position as Popo, comes flying in. Lord comes in again. We're gonna have to slow this one down because I was not expecting that. Yeah, that's okay. So it gets sent over from Kai, and Lord is just in the perfect position to rebound that one.
Yeah, my goodness, 3:39 to go, game number 3, and an absolute bullet coming in from Lord. Popo, is going to win the face-off. Lord comes in, wins the 50, but does not get it out of the zone. Here comes Mako to put it in center for a teammate. Ball floating in front of the box. Kai looking to drop it down. Got Mako coming in. Burf will retreat back towards the corner, plays it in. Taken away by Lord back towards the corner. And now Mako in reverse is going to hit the boost and head up. Kai gets the touch into the zone, comes off the bottom corner looking for the second touch. Lord puts it towards center. Here comes Mako. And now Burf puts it up, looking for a little mind games. Pinch it in towards the goal. Mako will retreat with Kai as well. Grab the 100 boost, take it up the side wall. Gets it by one person. Can't get it by the second, but Kai sends it in. Popo can't get there. And if he gets the kiss, it's in. And he scores.
Yeah, take a look at the replay here. Lord trying to settle that one down, but Kai returns the favor. That last goal, if you remember, Kai sends it over, and Lord's able to capitalize it. On this time, Lord sends it over, and Kai's able to capitalize on him. So, a little back and forth between these two players in this game so far. Mako's trying to get up there. Lord does meet him in no man's land. Ball pinches off the side corner there, and we'll see if the Flyers are able to make good on another goal to tie up this series. Otherwise, this could be going the way of the Victory.
Ball's going to come off the top corner, go into the box. Burf is now going to look to center it up. He's got Mako sitting right there. Counterattack now for PC McD. Kai's going to head up, clear it away, going to hit the top corner and drop down in front of the net. Popo now going to center it, looking for Lord, cut away by Mako. Burf will now head up the side wall, put it back to the other side. Got Mako who's going to send it up above the crossbar. PC McD comes in and just blasts Burf back to the 7th century. Now Kai is going to look to keep it up, in the zone. Looking for a flip reset, actually, to get it over to Burf. Oh, the ball sent in. Mako's got to rush back. Kai actually gets back in time as well. Gets credit for the save. Kai making one-man miss. Lord will take it away for the victory. Burf drops it down, but PC McD is waiting there for the pass. Papo puts it in off the back wall. Now the ball still floating towards the net. Burf able to clear that away. Now looking for a pre-jump redirect. Can't get there in time. Papo gets it over Burf into the corner. Kai will wait to touch. A defensive miscue, and it's going to cost the victory the lead.
Yeah, we look at this one once again. Papo just catches it off the hood of his car, and I think realizes it a little bit too late. With Kai just waiting there in the wings, smashes that one home, and you know, those goals aren't always the easiest, right? You know, it's set up there for you on a silver platter, but you know, Kai gives it just enough to send it to the top shelf, right? He doesn't want to overshoot it and hit the top crossbar, and he doesn't want to send a direct, you know, just beamer across the ground either, as it'd be too much of an easy save. So again, giving credit for him on those small details, giving it just enough to put it on the top shelf, making it almost indefensible for that victory member who was the last man back. So this game is all tied up. Again, match point. The Flyers could walk away with this one with a clean sweep. Good redirect from Mako, trying to settle it down for Burf. But the victory, trying to make their case to stay alive in this series. We are reaching our final 30 seconds or so as Kai gets the double touch there. And oh my.
Oh my, Kai puts it in off the back wall and gets the double touch dunked above PC McD. 36 seconds to go, and all of a sudden the Flyers come back. 3 unanswered goals to take the lead here in game number 3. PC McD looking to equalize it. 30 seconds to go. Papo puts it above the crossbar, looking for a second touch. Kai needs to get the ball away from the front of the net. They do. Mako bumps into them, or a double commit here on the side of the Flyers. Here comes Burf, puts it into the corner, does not win the 50, ball centered. Here comes Kai, puts it into the zone of the victory. PC McD will whip around. Mako will put it in. Final 10 seconds, and the rush for the victory needs to happen now, and the ball is going to be sent in, and that is going to do it. Ball is going to remain on the turf. Gonna hit it right in front of the net, and the Flyers sweep the victory to round out today's action. Final series score of 3-0.
Yeah, that was tense final seconds of this game. Victory gave it just one last push, one last gas, and they had a pretty good, clean look at it. It's just the Flyers came up stout, able to, you know, stop that one final push when it mattered the most, not force an overtime, not force a game number 4. And like you said, Flyers walk away with the clean sweep, our only clean sweep of tonight. And the Flyers move up, and the victory moved down on the leaderboard.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, the St. Cloud Flyers hit the 500 mark to at halfway mark here of the season. A lot of teams really right around that 500 mark, so it's going to be a race to the finish. So week 6 is now in the books here with the Premier League. We are going to be back next week, Thursday, with more action. So for everybody here at Minnesota Championship Series, I am Spencer Hart for Flash, and we will see you next week.
get some casuals because my my setup's a little messed up at the moment. So I don't want to troll my teammates in rank. Now we're just vibing out, we're chilling, we're playing with some viewers. I hope the games were good. Were there any Game 5 OTs? Oh. I mean, it's MNCS. All the matches are bangers. But yeah, for those who don't know, that MNCS is one of the leagues that I cast. Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, from 8 p.m. Oh god, I always get confused. I always get confused when I'm converting time zones. Is it 7 p.m. Central or 8 p.m. Central? 8 p.m. 7 p.m. Central. Yeah. 7 p.m. Central. 6 of dang it! Okay, Tibble, it's not my fault. I'm East Coast. Yeah. It's not me. It's time zones. 6 Central. You know what? Hey, I was close with 7. But seriously, Tails, thank you for bringing the raid here. Hope I can keep everyone entertained. The time is hard. Yo, time is very. But no, again, I hope the games are all good. I'll maybe I should probably check the VOD out just so I can talk about these things next week when I'm hoping to have my desk. Because yeah, Tibble, I still don't have my desk. I have moved my my living room table into the bedroom. I have just enough USBs for my streaming equipment and my controller, and we're doing the best we can. Yeah, oh no, yeah. Pinch, yeah, nice. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not the most stuff. It's just a little though. You're gonna head out though. Have a good one, man. I will, Tibbles. And I mean, thank you again for the